San Diego, it's time to fire it up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the Gaslamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime year.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
What's up, San Diego? And a happy Monday to everybody out there in America's finest city. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. We are the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. How about that? 4-game sweep. Round of applause. Are you kidding me? That was the first time the Padres have swept a 4-game series against the Rockies since I was 4 years old. Seriously, they hadn't done that since 1999. It is so hard to sweep a team in 4 games. I don't care how good you are. I don't care if you're the Rockies coming into the season expected not to be very good. The Rockies had won 3 straight games. They just swept the Astros, who, by the way, Astros have been getting their ass kicked by the Mariners. The Padres about to take on a Mariners team that got hot by the Astros. Have to extinguish them a little bit too. What a great weekend for the San Diego Padres to get back on track and to put themselves in a position to, I don't know, be the number 2 best team right now in Major League Baseball. They have the second best record in Major League Baseball after this 4-game win streak over the weekend to add to their 5-game winning streak. Get the brooms out. Make it 4. But let me start the show today with this. Today is going to be, I think, a learning experience for a lot of people. And I would say doomers are a part of that group. And I would say people that are overly optimistic are a part of that group too, because things can change like that in Major League Baseball. I want you to really hear me on this one. Never, and I mean never, let a 5-game stretch, a 7-game stretch, even a 9-game stretch define what you think a baseball team is. Never. Because if you did that with this team to start the year, you buried them at 1-4, you threw dirt on them at 2-5, you said this offense can't hit, this roster doesn't work, this season is headed sideways, and now what do we have? What do we have, chat? What do we have, Frank?
We got Fernando playing second base is what we got.
That's right. We'll get to that in a second. We have the Padres winning 8 of their last 9 games. They're 8-1 of their last 9 games. They just swept the Colorado Rockies. Oh, and by the way, they now have, as I mentioned before, the second best record in Major League Baseball. Albeit it's tied with the Braves, still counts. Second in all of baseball. I mean, considering what the Dodgers have, I mean, you might as well just eliminate them from the deal. You're kind of like in first place. That's kind of a reach. I wouldn't hang that banner just yet. But after being last place, they were in last place in the National League just over a week ago. Last. They now got the second best record in Major League Baseball. And guess what? That's baseball. That's why you don't overreact. And that's why, if you were listening to this show in particular, none of this should surprise you. Because what did we tell you about this team? What did we say? We told you the offense wasn't broken. Did we not, Frank?
Yep.
We tried to tell you. We told you they weren't getting lucky. We told you the underlying numbers said this thing was going to turn. And guess what? It has started to turn. Let's talk about the why. Because this is the most important part of the conversation. Through 16 games, here's what this offense looked like under the hood. 43.5% hard hit rate, second best in Major League Baseball. 8.2% barrel rate, 6th best in Major League Baseball. 425 expected slugging percentage, 5th best in Major League Baseball. 332 expected weighted on-base average, 6th best in Major League Baseball. What does that mean in real terms? It means they were crushing baseballs and not getting rewarded for it. That's it. This wasn't a team that couldn't hit. This was a team that wasn't seeing results yet, and there is a massive difference between those two things. Because when you're hitting the ball, and you're hitting the ball that hard, that consistently, it's not if the results come, it's when. And now you're watching the when. Now let's talk about this sweep against the Rockies, because this is where it all comes together. Yesterday, perfect example of what this team is becoming. You got power. Ty France goes deep for his first home run at Petco Park in 5 years. That was kind of a full circle moment for him yesterday. He caught up with Sam Levitt in the Humble post-game show. You got more power. Ramon Laureano, he left the yard yesterday, the third time this season. You got the future star continuing to emerge. Jackson Merrill went yard. Jackson Merrill hit a home run to the old fence. I mean, he crushed that ball. But it's not just the home runs. This team is starting to play complete baseball. They're bunting runners over. They're manufacturing runs. They're hitting sacrifice flies. They're doing the little things. This isn't just slug your way to wins. This is versatility. This is adaptability. This is a team learning how to win in different ways, which is what you want to see out of a Major League Baseball team. You want to see that in any type of baseball. If you got an offense that is winning in different ways, you will have a very successful offense in baseball, and one that's going to carry through the entire season. And how about that response yesterday? Because let's not ignore what happened early in that game. You lose your starter, Nick Pivetta, to elbow stiffness. And that's a big storyline moving forward. But what happens? The bullpen comes in and they shove. They give you Kyle Hart battling through it. David Morgan punching guys out. Wandy Peralta doing his job in a situation that's designed for him on this team. Bradley Rodriguez shutting things down to the ninth inning, and they allow nothing the rest of the way. They gave up one hit the entire day. And that was Kyle Hart on the Brett Sullivan one hopper to the fence in right field. That's a team win, culture win. That's guys saying, next man up, we're not letting this one slip. And I've got to say this too. You got to give some credit to Craig Stammen, because early on we questioned him, and rightfully so. Lineup decisions, bullpen usage, feel for the game. But what are we seeing now? We're seeing a guy who is adjusting. We're seeing creativity. 15 different lineups in 15 games. They're moving guys around. They're even putting Fernando at second base. I'm going to tell you right now, the guy that was in charge before him, before Stammen, would have never done that. I don't know how many times I had to listen from people, from baseball people, like, it's so hard to move positions at Major League Baseball. Not when you got athletes like Fernando. Are you kidding me? Give me a break. He was fine at second base. He seems like he's got a little bit more of a spark at the plate too. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe it was about time he was going to push through. But he was starting to hit balls in the air to pull side over the weekend. And he looks a little bit more energized at second base. That's an interesting conversation. But we're seeing out of Craig Stammen someone who understands how to keep guys fresh. He's a guy that's been there and done it before as a player. How to keep guys engaged. How to keep guys bought in. And right now, it's working. You have to say it's working. Now, let's address the one concern, because we have to, and it's Nick Pivetta. You saw the velo drop off. I saw that on Sunday. I was at the game. I got offered tickets super late, decided to go, last minute decision. I'm sitting up in section 217. And this is an honest story. I missed Nick Pivetta's, what they call the curveball that slipped out of his hand. But the one time I looked up to see his velocity, and it wasn't because it looked slow. I was just checking to see where it was at. I saw 92 on the four-seam fastball, and I was like, I don't remember Nick Pivetta throwing that slow. And then I'm like, is it just his IVB that makes his fastball so scary? I'm like, well, they really give a lot of crap to Buehler and these other guys that can't throw a fastball very hard. I mean, Pavetta's throwing 92. And then the training staff went out there with Craig Stammen. So you saw the velo drop. You saw him walk off. He was obviously upset about it. You heard elbow stiffness, and that's something to monitor. No question about it. But I'm not really panicking about this situation, because I think Walker Buehler over the weekend had the bounce back outing that you wanted to see. He looked dominant over the weekend. He's starting to really, I think, settle in as a starting pitcher for the Padres. Germán Márquez has bounced back, but I think those two have kind of put together the same kind of starts the last, really their first four starts each. They've both had a clunker each. They've both had an average start each. They both have a really good start each. But now you have depth coming with Griffin Canning. You've got Matt Waldron that's rehabbing and dealing in AAA. So, yeah, it's kind of a wait and see with Nick Pivetta, and hopefully he comes back. We'll get more answers on that probably later in the week as we get updates from the Padres. But I don't think losing Nick Pivetta is the sky is falling situation. It's not great, obviously. Losing any type of starting pitching is not great. But as we said during spring training, things have a way of playing themselves out, especially with the roster. And I think you're going to see that in the next couple of weeks, maybe even the next couple of months. We'll see what the update is on Nick Pivetta. But that brings me back to the big picture, because this is what matters most. This team started 1-4 and then 2-5, where they were dead last in the National League going into Saturday's game against the Boston Red Sox. And now they've won 8 of their last 9. They've swept the division opponent. By the way, these wins matter more than any of the other wins. You got to be able to take care of business against teams like the Rockies. This is where you make the playoffs, is beating up on teams you should. And you're off to a 4-0 start against the Rocks, which is great. And they've got one of the best records in baseball now. And that's not luck. That's a team that has trusted its process. That is a team that knows who they are. And that is a team that let the results catch up to the performance. So if you're a Padres fan today, enjoy it. Don't sit there waiting for the other shoe to drop. Don't nitpick every little flaw, because guess what? Every team has flaws, but not every team has this level of talent, has this level of depth, has this kind of offensive ceiling, and a fan base that's riding the wave with them. We told you it was coming. We told you not to panic. And now you're watching it unfold in real time. The bats are alive. The confidence is building. The wins are stacking. And the San Diego Padres, they're becoming exactly the team we thought they could be. We're just getting started here on the Braden Surprenant Show. We're going to take a quick break. I wanted to get that off my chest. You can't be evaluating teams in 8 games, 9 game spans, 10 game stretches, because you're going to see this team again go through an 8 game stretch where they look lousy. And you're going to see them again go through another 8 game stretch where they look like they'll never lose again. This is a baseball season. That's why you can't live and die with every pitch. You're going to go insane. Padres off to a great start to the week. They sweep the Colorado Rockies. When we come back, we'll break down more of the series against Colorado. We'll talk some of the big talking points coming out of the series against Colorado. We'll hear Frank's opinion as we're just getting started. Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's number 1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. 10:18 on a Monday, just getting started here for the week. The Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Had a great weekend of Padres baseball we're going to talk about here in a moment. We are broadcasting live for the Bill Allen Studios. We know how. I want to mention that all of our guests join us on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bank Banking. It's better. All right. We did a little victory lap right there, Frank. I'd have to say, right but too early. Cash is in again. I'm going to take a look at the. I will tell you the numbers here in a second about the Padres offensively in the first 8 games compared to their second 8 games. But as we say this, I want to make this perfectly clear. This team again is going to have some type of downturn at some point during the season. They're going to have multiple upswings and multiple downturns. You need to have more winning streaks than you have losing streaks. You want to make the playoffs. Other than that, you're playing 500 ball the rest of the way. That's how baseball operates. And to point out one more time, before people start yapping about, well, it's the Rockies. You beat the Rockies. Does anybody pay attention to sports of who most teams beat? Go look at teams and how they do against teams above 500 in all professional sports. They're going to be playing roughly 500 ball against teams above 500, and they're going to beat up on bad teams. That's what good teams do. If you go about 500 against teams that are going to be playoff teams, and then you beat up on the teams that are inferior to you, you're going to have a pretty solid team. So just to preference everything, breaking down this weekend, this is exactly what good teams do. They beat up on teams like the Rockies, as well as this team's not going to always win the rest of the way. They're not going to win out at this point in time. There's going to be some other stretches, but we told you the metrics behind the scenes that this team was going to start hitting. I'm going to tell you the results of that in a second, but overall, Frank, that's the perfect weekend you wanted if you're the San Diego Padres.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 100%. And I remember I told you this off air just a second ago. When we were doing our show from the loft, the final game of the Giants series, I had made the comment saying that we are the calm, rational, level-headed show. And when we start to worry, that's when you guys should start to panic. I saw multiple comments saying that if we waited for you guys to panic, it'd be too late. Yeah, I'm not panicking right now, am I?
No.
This is an 8-2 stretch in your last 10 games. This is what you knew this team could be, had the potential of being. Now, granted, some of these games have not been clean. They have been gritty, hard fought. You saw Thursday and Friday, you had to win in walk-off fashion against a team that was trying to give you the game on Thursday, and you had to fight back a little bit after a late inning hiccup on Friday night. So it hasn't been cleanest. It hasn't been the greatest baseball, but all you need to do is win. All you need to do is win, give yourself a chance, and now you go into the Vedder Cup starting tomorrow in 4 games over 500 instead of 2 games back, which is the last time you left Petco Park. You were 2 games back. And now only a game behind the Los Angeles Dodgers, who play the Mets starting tonight for first place in the West.
They pull up Tommy Pham?
Yes, they did.
Oh, wow.
They brought up Tommy Pham.
Tommy Pham.
So
see how Tommy Pham does against the Dodgers.
So it's early days in the season. As much as I hate hearing that, it's April 13th. When you start getting into stretches, when you're a couple games behind, under 500 in August, then yeah, we got a problem. Start ringing bells. There's plenty of time to make it up. As we said a lot last year, you're going to go 60-60. It's what you do with the other 42. So until you hit 60-60, there's no concerns.
I look at this and like the Padres have go back and look at this. I remember walking through Boston on that Friday, on Good Friday, And then like, oh man, the Padres are dead last in the National League right now. But it's like they played 7 games, right? It's 7 games. They're going to go 2-5 in 7 games a couple of times this year in any type of 7-game stretch. And then they have now played themselves all the way to the second best record in Major League Baseball. They currently have that tied with the Atlanta Braves because the Braves dismantled the Guardians last night on Sunday Night Baseball. But, I don't even focus on the Dodgers because they're just such an anomaly in Major League Baseball. You got to stay focused on the teams that you're competing with for a playoff spot. That's Arizona. That's San Francisco, who's, oh man, they've had a rough start to the year. But the reality of the situation is the Padres are going to go through a lot of ups and downs. And you look at the way that they've been playing, they were going to get better results eventually based on some of their hidden metrics. Now, let's take a look at what they have done. And this is just an easy split because they've played 16 games. The first 8 games of the season for the Padres, collectively as a team, they hit 190 with a 553 OPS and 3 home runs. They walked 27 times and struck out 66 times. They had a 243 batting average on balls in play. Those are all not good numbers across the board. Would you say, Frank, are any of those numbers good?
No, not really.
Combined 287 slug, is that good? No. I mean, under 600 team OPS is terrible. That's in games 1 through 8, which, by the way, during that 1 through 8 stretch, you faced Framber Valdez, you faced Tarek Skubal, you faced Logan Webb during that stretch. Then you look at the last 8 games. Now, this is including their start against or their game against Paul Skeens, but their last 8 games, they've hit 263 with a 346 on base percentage, a 481 slug to give them an 828 OPS. They've hit 13 home runs. They drove in 48, walked 33 times, and only struck out 54 times. So had a little bit better on the strikeout to walk ratio on the team in the 7-1 to start to in the last 8 games. 3-5 first 8 games, 7-1 in their last 8 games. Drastic improvement. And here's the thing. Nothing has really changed metric-wise for the Padres. I went through their metrics in the open about what they have done through 16 games combined. They are 2nd Major League Baseball in hard hit rate. They are 6th in Major League Baseball in barrel rate. They're 5th in Major League Baseball in expected slugging. And they're 6th in Major League Baseball in expected weighted on base average. Their numbers have been this the entire season. It's not like they just got hot. They're starting to see the results. This is a team that has the offense that could do a lot of damage in Major League Baseball. And you're seeing it with the comparison of the first 8 games versus the last 8 games. So I look at this team and the way that they've played. I thought they played great over the weekend. And again, it's not who you play, it's when you play them. And they actually got the Rockies after a sweep of the Houston Astros. I mean, the Red Sox starting to turn things around a little bit over there in Boston. That'd be nice to see them kind of go off and do what they're supposed to do. I mean, playing them at the right time always is clutch. Mariners are doing very good as of right now. They got a game today, as a matter of fact, at 1 o'clock against Houston for the final game of their 4-game series over the weekend before they come here to take on the Padres. But, Frank, I mean, I look at those numbers between the two. They're finally starting to get the results.
Yes, something that we knew was going to happen. Eventually, you cannot keep hard hits down for too long. It's going to come around. They're going to find the hole. They're going to find a gap, and they're going to start hitting it out of the ballpark, which you saw a lot over these last 3 or 4 games. Is you're starting to see the home run numbers and the slug numbers go up. You're also starting to see guys find the gap a little bit more. So it was only a matter of time if they kept doing what they were doing for them that they were going to break out. And it just sucks waiting for it.
It does. It gets frustrating because here's the thing with fans. And sometimes I'm guilty of this too. I mean, like here in San Diego, we've won a championship for so long because they've never won anything. And San Diego has never won anything besides an AFL championship back in 1963 when the Chargers beat the Boston Patriots over at Balboa Stadium or whatever the stadium was called back in the day. But I think a lot of people think, they want it so bad, they want it to happen tomorrow. And they think by not winning games early in the season, it's the end of the season. It's going to end. It's going to end poorly. All the yada, 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 yada. It's just not going to always be like that. But I like the way that the bats have been playing. I really like the way, with this, I like them finding different ways to win too. I mean, I thought the strategy yesterday was very interesting with the Padres. I mean, we haven't talked about Fernando playing second base yet. I thought that was interesting over the weekend. Your 3-hitter dropping down a bunt yesterday, I thought was fascinating. Ended up leading to a run in the first inning. That's not necessarily how I would play it, but got a run out of it. You put the pressure on early. And the fact that the Padres used the long ball yesterday and used other elements of hit and run and dropping down bunts and advancing runners and sacrifice flies. We have seen the Padres, Frank, fail to execute on a lot of those things in the last couple of years, and they became one-dimensional. Right now, they're finding multiple ways to beat teams in terms of scoring runs, and I think the offense you've seen in the last 8 days has been the offense that this team is capable of being all season long.
Yeah, for sure. And there are so many, and I've said it to you multiple times through text, it's so frustrating watching a team this talented underachieve. And what you've seen over the last couple of days is that expectation that we all have of these guys starting to come to fruition. And it hasn't even really been a big mark from the superstar players. It's been Gavin Sheets who's turned it around after having such a slow start. It's the way Miguel Andujar came in and is hitting. Now you're finding Luis Campusano. People wanted to jettison Luis Campusano to the moon last week.
Yeah, how about him in the last week?
This week, I'm seeing people tweet at the Padres on their lineup pages, why is Campusano not playing? He's the hottest hitter right now. It's the ebbs and flows of a baseball season. That's all it is. You are tied for the second best record in baseball after all of these complaints last week.
You can't even say you almost said last year, because it's been the amount of complaints you would hear over a course of an entire season. It's been like it was a week. They were in last place for a day, and now they're the second best record in all of Major League Baseball. The Campusano thing is interesting. I mean, he's out hit Fermin for the entire year. I mean, for most of the year. I mean, Fermin's been kind of rough as of right now. I like Freddie Fermin as a starting catcher, but it's good. I think it's good to see Luis Campusano get comfortable again and have that confidence again. He's going to get, and you know what? I wouldn't change too much about him playing more. Let the guy find success in the role that he has. And I've said that about Jackson Merrill in his first season with the Padres. Sometimes you got to let these guys play to their strengths and play in the roles that they're designed to be, because that's the roles that they're going to have success, where they might not have success in a little bit more of an expanded role. But, everybody wanted Luis Campusano gone. And what did I say during spring training? You know what, dude? Like, he just has to hit above 200. He's a backup catcher. We shouldn't have to worry too much about what Luis Campusano does. He's not going to hit 353 all year, but it's great to see he's got a home run already. It's great to see him hitting the gaps. It's great to see him really start to get some confidence. And if it wasn't for him, they probably don't win that game on the walk-off on, was that Thursday or Friday?
Thursday
night. On Thursday night, right? I mean, he kept the game alive with the base hit that he got. So he's been doing a great job. And here's the other thing, too. I think you got to credit Craig Stammen and the staff for being able to make adjustments and get creative. This team has athletes, okay? Pigeonholing them for one role defensively is not the right approach. And I said this on the round table. I'll continue to say it. This is my philosophy on baseball, and people disagree. That's fine. I think you should try to make your lineup with the best 9 bats you possibly can, and then figure out the defense later. I really do. And I always bring up this particular situation, Frank. If you can have, out of the 3 aspects of baseball, pitching, hitting, and fielding, if you can have 2 of those things be elite and the other one be awful, which 2 are you picking to be elite?
I'd rather pitching and hitting.
I'd rather be pitching and hitting too. Like, defense is great. It'd be nice to have a good defense. But if your pitching is elite, how much do you really need a good defense? Right? I mean, you could find holes in a lot of the situations with defense compared to pitching and hitting. Defense can lose you a lot of games, but I disagree with, as a defensive coach in football, I think certain sports defense is very important. I think fielding in baseball is slightly important. I don't think it should be your end all be all, because if it was, Frank, there'd be a lot of teams that would be making teams and lineups based on how well you are defensively. How many teams in Major League Baseball are building their lineups trying to get the best 9 gloves out there?
Yeah, the guy who comes in the 8th or 9th inning as a defensive replacement wouldn't be a thing because you'd already have him in.
He'd already be out there.
Yeah, exactly. So
right.
You've already made that. Yeah, I'll take the dip defensively a little bit, but I mean, as far as I thought, Fernando played well at second base.
He's going to be fine.
Yeah,
he's an athlete.
He came up as an infielder. He's played second base. It's a great way to help. It was interesting. I did see somebody bring it up. Is why wouldn't you have Jake play second and Manny and Fernando go to short?
I think it's worth the question. I mean, he's played shortstop. I get that too. And not to cut you off there. I mean, my thoughts on that is he's probably got more range. He's an athlete. He loves playing there. Maybe you give him a little bit of a spark there. And everybody's like, what about all the errors he's made? I mean, the guy was like, what, 21 years old, 20 years old? I mean, yeah, he's going to have throwing errors, whatever. But like, that's why I'm surprised he didn't just do that. Because at that point, you're only moving one guy out of position. And leave Jake play it at second base.
I mean, and even Jake's not out of position because he came up as a shortstop also. But
move Nick Castellanos there. He's been a shortstop. Jackson Merrill's a shortstop. Manny's a shortstop. Xander's a shortstop.
It's a creative and effective way to not just have a complete hole in your lineup as you try to get a guy like Xander or try to get Jake a day off. You get to keep your star players out there. You still continue to put the best lineup out there. And it's interesting to see. I cannot believe the toxicity that I saw with, what is Craig Stammen doing? He has no idea what he's doing. Fire him. He was never the right guy for the job, this, that, and the other thing. Watch it play out. The guy was an infielder growing up. Coming up, he started as an infielder. He's going to be just fine. And now all of a sudden everyone's saying, Fernando can't play anything other than second base because now he's hitting. Like, guys.
Sorry, Jake. You're on the job now, dude. Yeah. You better learn how to catch some fly balls.
It's like,
when we go to the ballpark tomorrow to see the Padres do some early warm-ups, you're going to see a Jake out there. Here's the last thing I got to say.
Just breathe.
The fans don't get to see batting practice because the Padres are done before they open the gates.
Yes.
We are fortunate enough to see, because we got to take a break. We're fortunate enough to see batting practice. This is even before, Frank, you started working for us.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody takes ground balls in field.
Yes.
I mean, everybody. You know who used to take ground balls at shortstop and was smooth there and looked legit? You know who? He's the current manager of the San Diego Padres. Craig Stammen used to look electric at shortstop taking ground balls. These guys are professional athletes.
That's how
they've grown up doing this their entire life. It's not difficult to move them to a different position. You want to talk about moving a guy to catcher? Sure. I will listen to the argument about that being unintelligent. But moving some of your most athletic players to different positions that they've played their entire life is not crazy.
That's how the Yankees missed Mariano Rivera for half a season because he got hurt shagging fly balls in batting practice in center field. And he hurt his leg.
That's right. I like what the team's doing. I like what Craig Stammen's doing. When we come back, we got to take a break. When we come back, we will talk about the Nick Pivetta situation a little bit as we try to figure out what's going on with the starting rotation with Nick Pivetta being injured. We'll hear what Craig Stammen had to say as well as we go to break on the Braden Surprenant Show, Standing Room Sports Station 97 through the Fan. .43 on kind of an April. It's not really an April showers day. It's more of like a May gray day. It's a little bit chillier, though, a little blustery today in America's finest city. But not because we're sad. Padres, 5-game winning streak. They're off. You know why we're sad? We're sad because they're off today. This is where it sucks to have an off day. You get into a groove. It's becoming must-watch television again. Padres baseball. You're excited. And they get you with an off day. How dare these players have a day off to enjoy themselves and relax? How dare they? How dare Sam Levitt have a day off to go to breakfast in Cardiff? You see that today?
Yeah, I did. Brother gets around.
Gas is like more expensive than anything, and Sam's like, I'm just going to drive to North County.
He was pestering me on Friday night because I went to the game on Friday night.
So did I.
I was tired and I didn't stay the whole game. I think I left in like the 6th inning.
Sammy swipe day, Nate Taylor in the YouTube chat says.
So he comes into the press box. He leaves his cushy seat next to Pedro in the Spanish announce booth. Comes and bothers me.
I know that bothers you a lot.
And he says,
you bring it up every time.
And he says, it's like, why are you leaving early? It must be nice. You know, some people have to work. I'm like,
oh my God.
I already did today.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
I said I wanted to see Walker Buehler pitch. He's like, why? Just say you wanted to come to the game. Like, why? For Walker Buehler, really? I'm like, yeah, that's why. I also wanted to see all the stuff they would do for
City Connect Friday.
Yeah, for the City Connect stuff, which was fun. It was
you had
nice.
to be there for. Did you watch you went before the Gavin Sheets home run?
Yeah, I left in like the 6th inning. Buehler was still pitching.
By the way,
I left.
So I went to the game as a fan.
Buehler looked good.
I thought Buehler looked great. I mean, from my angle, I was in 200 whatever. I mean, based on the angle I had, I went as a fan. I had a great time. I thought the beer fest was great. I tried the new. They had the new beer there, the Ballast Point one, the Super Lager or whatever it's called.
Okay.
That was pretty good. That was solid. I liked it. I had that. That was solid. And then at some point, like my one of my buddies, him and his girlfriend were like, "Oh, let's go to the loft for like the last 2 innings." I'm like, I'm trying to watch a ball game, but you know what? All right,
all
right, fine. So I go to the loft. I'm up in the loft for like the final 2 innings, and you know things are going down. I saw the Wendelstedt had a rough game on Friday, man.
Yeah, the umpire on Thursday night wasn't much better either.
Wendelstedt had a rough game, but how about like the last inning? I think it's Ramon Laureano. He gets ball 3, right? And it's well above the zone, for sure. It's well above the zone. And Sullivan taps his lid. And Wendelstedt doesn't see it. And then he's like, yo, you going to review that or what? What's going on? He's like, oh, he didn't do it in time. He's like, what are you talking about? I did it like literally immediately.
Yeah.
Whatever. He's like, oh, I didn't see it. Oh, my bad. Like, all right. Rockies are challenging. It's like, dude, you should have listened to Wendelstedt.
And you had the
cost you the challenge.
And you had the reverse happen in Pittsburgh against the Cubs.
Oh, he accidentally.
Yeah, when
and it worked out for him.
Yeah, Bubba Chandler went to the back of his head just to like adjust his hat, and the umpire took it as he was challenging the pitch.
Worked out for him.
Yeah, Bubba was like, "Wait, no challenge, no," and he still gave it to him, and it ended up being right.
So he gets the challenge. He should have listened to Wendelstedt because it was nowhere near the zone. And so like as they're waiting for the ABS, I saw this on video afterwards. He had his mic still on. Wendelstedt did, and he's like, "No, we're working together back here.
Yeah.
We're doing this together." And it's like, "Oh, it's a ball. They're out of challenges." So now it's 3-0, and then Senzatella paints one on the corner. It gets called ball 4, and Sullivan goes to challenge. He's out of challenges now. Senzatella, you can see he's like, "Argh!" He's like so upset on the mound. He's like, because that would have been a strike, and like they couldn't challenge it now. The Rockies,
they were all messed up with the challenges this weekend.
They just use them. I just think their strategy is use them. They use them a lot. I mean, they got a lot of calls overturned, but how many times did they run out before the 9th inning? It seemed like a decent amount.
Not even that, but also the whole deal with what happened in extra innings on Thursday night was they lost track and they didn't realize that you can't have more than 2. So they thought the Padres had 3.
Oh, the umpires didn't know the rules on that one.
They were all over the place.
Well, I just think the home plate umpire didn't know.
Exactly.
And then the other guys kind of told them during the break, like, no, they only got 2, dude. They don't get an extra one. So anyway, that was like I'm pretty sure that was the leadoff guy of the 9th inning. Was Laureano, and then did Bogarts he got it. He flew out or something like that later on.
When was this?
This was the 9th inning on Friday. It was to set up Gavin Sheets with runners on base. So Gavin Sheets comes up with 2 guys on in the 9th inning, tie ball game. He hits the, walk-off home run to right center field. That would have gone over the old school 411 sign for sure. The old fence. That had no chance, the old fence. And the loft goes crazy. Dude, I don't know. 3 people thought they were on Simba Cam during that home run. They were picking up furniture and like putting it above their heads like they were Tusken Raiders in Star Wars. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my God, this place is going nuts. The loft, there's people. The guy like picked up his chair. And he's just like, he's like all excited. It's like, yo, put the chair down, buddy.
It was a Merrill single, Manny walk.
Bogarts, I think, hit it like a fly ball that advanced guys or something.
Bogarts flew out, moved Merrill to third, and then it was the Sheets homer.
And the Sheets home run. Yeah, they were like, it was like a Wookiee. I couldn't believe it. I was like, no, dude, put the chair down.
Jeez.
Security, what's going on with this guy? This guy's like, I think I start like nailing the furniture down to the floors at the loft.
My God.
I couldn't believe that. Tusken Raiders. I can't do that voice. 833-288-973. 833-288-973. Let's get out to Juan in Oceanside. Juan, what's going on, brother?
Not much. Just happy about the Padres, which is why I'm not actually calling in about them. I'm calling about SCFC. I would call about Arsenal, but I don't think anyone in San Diego cares about them.
You're going to have to cry in your beer on your own on that one, buddy.
Yeah. But as far as SCFC goes, I'm just a little frustrated with, it seems like Mikey Varas and the rest of the team not making adjustments. It's pretty clear as of right now that the high press is really affecting the back line. And I don't know, it feels to me like there's a little bit of stubbornness from the top to the bottom when it comes to the team. And I just want to get your thoughts on that.
Did you end up going to the game on Saturday?
I did not, no. But I did watch. It was, again, it's very frustrating. And Juan, you're absolutely right. It's frustrating again to see the same issues crop up over and over and over again. 6 straight match with a red card. And this is the first minute into the second half. You're tied 1-1.
How many times do we have to discuss the red card situation? It's every show.
Yeah,
it's every game for these guys.
And we'll discuss it a little bit later on today. But it's really upsetting to see, and I don't know if it's reluctance to change because they're used to the system and they've gotten results from it. It's just a rough patch, or if it's, well, this worked last year. we're going to stick with it and we're not going to change. It's very interesting to see.
We're going to talk about San Diego FC later on the show,
Mm-hmm.
when we have a little bit more time. And we didn't even talk about the Masters was coming down to the wire yesterday. Rory went back-to-back on the Masters. We're going to get to, and we're running out of time here with the, we're going to get to start the next hour. We're going to hear from Craig Stammen on the Nick Pivetta situation. Obviously, with the injury that he suffered yesterday. Is it weird that I'm not really concerned about it? I mean, obviously I'm concerned for Nick Pivetta's health, right? But like in terms of the overall out of the Padres, I feel like things have a way of working themselves out when it comes to Matt Waldron and Griffin Canning. And I don't know. I feel like there's going to be better news with this than what it seemed to be. Craig Stammen didn't seem like ultra worried about it in the press conference yesterday.
No, it was more, and
neither did Nick. Nick didn't seem super worried either.
No, and we'll hear it next segment. It's more of a wait and see how he feels today kind of situation. So I'm not all that concerned from the fact of you do have people that are coming up that are waiting in the wings to fill his spot. So the depth is not the concern. Of course, the concern is how long is he going to be out, if he's going to have to be out at all. The fact, I think one of the things that was telling was he didn't fight the trainer coming off the field yesterday. He just went. He just went with him. So he knew something was off, knew it wasn't going to get any better. So it's just a wait and see how he feels today. And if he gets an MRI today or if he gets something done today because they're off, I'm sure there's going to be more. There's going to be more that comes out today about it.
It also looked like, I mean, they ended up admitting it post game, but it also looked like they had seen this before. Like this was not like a shocker to them that this could potentially happen. And then you heard, and we're going to hear from Craig Stammen here in the next hour, from yesterday about it. But they kind of shut him down a little bit later than they would like to in spring training because he was dealing with the same thing of elbow stiffness. Now, he did have something like this in Boston in his final year in Boston, and he was out a month. Now, if he's only out a month, honestly, I think that works to the Padres' advantage in a big way for a lot of different reasons. If he's out for the entire year, that obviously sucks. But here's the other thing, too, like in terms of silver lining.
Burns, Buehler, and Marquez a stay.
Well, they get to stay a little bit longer. You can see what you get out of them. Like you could time, and we're going to talk about this more in the 11 o'clock hour. I mean, Griffin Canning, there's only so many spots that you have available to do this extended tryout to see who can stay on the team and who can't. This buys them some time in order to do that. But on top of this, if you're going to lose a pitcher for the year, it's really better to do it now than it is at the end of the season because you can go and make something happen at the trade deadline. But also, like, he could opt into his contract next year and you get like a third of the season next year. Like the recovery time, you might actually get to see him a little bit next year too. So there are some positives. We're going to discuss what the situation is now moving forward. Obviously, it's the wait and see. We'll get more information when we get it, but we'll hear from Craig Stammen when we come back. Hour number 2 of the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. We are the Braden Surprenant Show. San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. We are going to talk about the Nick Pivetta situation right now because obviously you saw him leave yesterday in pain. He didn't even argue with the training staff that he could continue to go. He also didn't throw like another pitch, Frank. I mean, usually sometimes you see like a couple of warm-up pitches to see if he's okay to throw. That was immediate, out of here. What did Craig Stammen say after the game? There was a couple of minutes of conversation. Obviously, it was the most pressing question, I think, during the post game because, I mean, they cruised to a pretty easy victory over the Rockies to complete a 4-game sweep. Most notable situation out of yesterday's game was obviously Nick Pivetta. Here's what Craig Stammen had to say about the Nick Pivetta situation after the game.
What can you tell us about Nick Pivetta in addition to what we heard about the stiffness?
Yeah, I think, you can probably hear it in my voice. We're all kind of sniffling and snotting around a little bit. He was doing some of that too. I don't know if that affects recovery or whatever, but just didn't feel quite, 100% today and dealing with the elbow stiffness and, was kind of dealing with it the whole game and got through 3 innings and then got to the point where it just felt like, there's no reason for him to fight through it.
Is this something that he just started to feel today or was it something that he felt prior?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's similar to what he was going through in spring training. Very similar to the same thing. I think we caught it early enough this time. Hopefully things will be all right. But you just, anytime it's someone's elbow, especially a pitcher, it's, reason for caution. And that's probably why we took him out of the game when we did.
What will be the plan to evaluate him moving forward?
Trainers will check him out. I don't know if they'll get imaging or not. Just kind of depends on how he feels tomorrow and whether they think that's necessary or not.
Any idea who's taking his place in rotation?
We still haven't, we'll see how he feels tomorrow. There's a world where he makes his next start, so I think we're optimistic that we caught it at the right time and that he just needs a little breather and maybe get healthy and get some vitamin C in him and we'll feel a little bit better.
How much concern, Craig, is it that 2 years ago, right around the same time, he had a flexor elbow strain in Boston?
Nick's got a history that we're well aware of and that's why we try to take as best care of him as we can. Our trainers and doctors have been on top of it since the very beginning, since the day we got him. So, it's part of who Nick is, part of being a pitcher, honestly. That's just kind of the nature of our game and, throwing pitches that are as nasty as his. So, we'll have his best interest in mind and take care of him as best we can.
So that is what Craig Stammen said about Nick Pivetta. Now, you do have to wait until today, probably. I don't think, there's not going to be media there. I don't think the Padres are going to announce anything today either. If they do, that would be shocking to me. You probably won't get another update until maybe Tuesday when the team is back at the facilities. Obviously, Pavetta's probably there getting evaluated and doing a bunch of stuff. They're probably working on that right now. But there is a world, as Craig Stammen said, as of right now, there is a world where he does make his next start. And if that's the case, you don't have to worry about a lot of different things. Now, in a world where he can't, or in a world where he goes on the injured list for maybe a significant amount of time, I think this does help the Padres a little bit in kind of putting together an extended tryout for a couple of players. Like, as of right now, Walker Buehler and Germán Márquez still relatively going to be on the team. Nick Pivetta can't go, or he goes on the injured list because when they bring back a Matt Waldron or a Griffin Canning, whatever that may be, it sounded like Griffin Canning can come back in May. He's made 2 starts in El Paso. Matt Waldron's made 3. These are the 2 I think that are the most prominent to come up and be a factor. I don't know how long their rehab assignments are going to go. It sounds like, what do you get, 21 games or 21 days?
You get 30 days as a pitcher, you get down to the minors.
30 days. So the whole month, like Matt Waldron and Griffin Canning can stay down there for a month.
Yeah, and then you either have to assign them or call them up or activate them.
Right. Which for these 2 guys, Matt Waldron's out of options, and you signed Griffin Canning to a major league deal. So I don't know if he's got any options left or not. I doubt it. But Matt Waldron, just to put in perspective, like, he has 3 starts in El Paso. He's gone 12 innings. He has not allowed a run yet. He's only walked one batter. He has given up 7 hits. He has struck out 12. He leads the El Paso Chihuahuas in strikeouts, and opponents are hitting 184 against Matt Waldron. To me, he's the guy that probably is coming up sooner rather than later because he's got a clock of days, and you need to figure out if you can keep him on the team for a long period of time. If he's going to, at the major league level, be better than an Germán Márquez or Walker Buehler, because those are the 3 that you're making a decision on at least the first time through. And then I bet you they stay a little bit lighter with Griffin Canning.
Bless you.
Unless they bring Matt Waldron up, and then, it's a disaster between him, Walker Buehler, and Germán Márquez, and then they might have to rush Griffin Canning up a little bit faster. But these are just the 2 prominent ones. The other consideration, of course, is a guy like JP Sears. JP Sears can get brought up. Tristan McKenzie is in the minor leagues. He can get brought up too. But Tristan McKenzie has made 2 starts. He's appeared in 4 games. I find that to be interesting, that they might be using him as a relief. Maybe they're going to turn him into a relief pitcher. But he's pitched in 4 games. He's made 2 starts. He's given up 11 earned runs and 7 1/3 innings pitched on 9 hits. McKenzie's given up 3 long balls. But Tristan also has 11 strikeouts, second most on the team, in just the 7 1/3 innings. JP Sears currently is 1-1 with a 4.73 ERA in 3 starts. He's gone 13 1/3 innings. He's actually thrown the most innings in El Paso this season. He has given up 7 earned runs on 14 hits. He has given up a home run this year, and he has 11 strikeouts to 6 walks down in AAA. But I think this is going to come down to an extended tryout for Matt Waldron, because you need to make a decision on him, Walker Buehler, and Germán Márquez. And that's why I think you have time to let Nick Pivetta get right instead of having him pitch continuously through this first couple of months of the season. Marco Gonzalez is still part of the Padres organization too. He's 1-1 with a 7.90 ERA in 3 starts. He's got 9 strikeouts, 1 walk. He has allowed 12 earned runs in 13 2/3 innings pitched. So interesting that a lot of these guys that didn't make the team opted to stay in AAA. Got a lot of options down there in AAA El Paso, Frank. And to me, I just think it sets up the Padres to extend their tryout another month to try to really make a clean decision on who's going to be part of the rotation for the second half of the year.
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought of. Again, as I said in the last segment, this kind of gives Walker Buehler and Germán Márquez a stay, so those 2 aren't no longer really fighting against each other. Griffin Canning, by the way, is out of options. He's reached the service time, so he's out of options now.
I believe it.
So it opens a gateway for these players to come up without too much risk of the team, depending upon how long or if Nick Pivetta is going to be out. So good on them for that. But as far as Griffin Canning, again, he's going to come up at some point. Matt Waldron, this could be a time where he steps in, fills a role. You can make a decision on that it becomes Buehler, Márquez, and then Waldron fighting against each other, and the first one down is out. So you can either you can either add more people to this extended tryout, or you can bring up a guy like Griffin Canning who you know is going to stick. And it's still, again, it's that fight between Márquez and Buehler.
I'd let I mean, if it was up to me, this is what I do to handle it. Let's say you got to put Pavetta on the injured list, or it's close enough where it's like, hey, he can fight through, but it's just gonna linger, or he could sit. I mean, these are kind of the decisions they're gonna have to make. If he can't pitch physically, and he goes in the injured list, then you're gonna have to make the decision. But let's just say it's a situation which Pavetta probably could come back, but they don't want to risk anything, and they put him on the 15-day IL, and he ends up missing a month. I think that's perfect timing to bring Matt Waldron up to see how many, give him a couple of starts to see if he can outdo Buehler and Márquez.
Sure.
And I think the third guy out of the group, by that time, you're going to see Márquez at least for 5 starts. You'll have already seen Walker Buehler for 5 starts. You'd have to hopefully Waldron gets, 3 to 4 starts. in that particular time. And at that point where when Matt Waldron's making his second or third start, then it's going to be Griffin Canning's done on his rehab, which now he could take probably the full 30 days. We got to eliminate one. And hopefully by that time, you'll have an idea of we can part ways with one of these arms. And then you bring Canning back. And then you're letting Matt Waldron or Germán Márquez or Walker Buehler, whoever's left, right? They can battle it out for the last spot before Nick Pivetta comes back or Joe Musgrove or whatever it may be later on in the season. They have options for that, and they have decisions to be made. And right now, here's the good part. Like, this is why it's kind of a good problem to have. Matt Waldron's doing really well in AAA, and Griffin Canning looks good in his rehab assignments. JP Sears is doing okay. Tristan McKenzie has a couple of stats that point in the right direction. Marco Gonzalez is a part of the way. You have guys that can throw, so it's not a super dire situation. Plus, you got a really good bullpen. I mean, this is the time of the year where this really you can make it into a positive for the Padres. I really think you do. So if I was running things, which I'm not, now would be the time. If Pavetta's got to go on the injured list, I'd bring up Waldron. I'd see what he would do in 3 starts. I'd compare it with the other 2 entities of Germán Márquez and Walker Buehler, who, by the way, I think overall their body of works have been relatively the same. And those guys would battle it out until Canning's rehab is done, and then you have to make a decision. But we said it in spring training. Things have a way of working themselves out, and this is already a situation that gives the Padres a little bit extended time. And this is assuming nobody else gets hurt. I mean, there could be another pitcher that gets hurt and they can move things around again with the rotation. But overall, I'm not really that concerned about Nick Pivetta maybe missing time. I'm really not. So how does this play out in the rotation? Well, we talked about it a bit. We're going to look a little bit more into the details of how Walker Buehler and Germán Márquez have done in their first couple starts, because it's going to be a difficult decision because they're kind of pitching the same. We'll explain what we mean when we come back. Enter for a chance to win a trip to the night before the draft in Pittsburgh, April 22nd. It's an all-star invite-only concert starring Jason Aldean, John Morgan, and Shane Prophet just days before Jason's new album, Songs About Us, drops on April 24th. Enter the national contest at odyssey.com/the night before. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Obviously, we're talking a little bit about the Nick Pivetta situation with him leaving yesterday due to an injury. I already said what I would kind of do if Nick Pivetta has to miss some time. But the real question is, and when you look at the rotation, the biggest question marks, of course, are the back end of the rotation because, you weren't going to have Joe Musgrove to start the year, which already hurts the rotation. You were really taking a chance on a lot of guys in this rotation. In fact, a lot of them still part of the organization down in AAA. But you decided to go with Germán Márquez and Walker Buehler, and it was only a matter of time before you have to make a decision on one of them because Griffin Canning is expected to be back after the first month of the year. So have a couple of weeks still left of that because it's April 13th, and he was expected to be back sometime in May. He's already made a couple of starts in AAA. He's got a 3.18 ERA, Griffin Canning does, for the Chihuahuas this season. We'll see what the Padres decide to do with him. But with the Nick Pivetta situation happening, and who knows if he misses significant amount of time or not, you still are looking between a battle of 31-year-olds at the back end of this rotation with Germán Márquez and Walker Buehler. Germán Márquez had a great outing in Pittsburgh. Great. Pitched a shutout. Had a little bit less of a great outing against the Rockies over the weekend. Was that Saturday night he pitched? Right?
Yeah, Germán.
He gave up like the 4 home runs or whatever it was.
Yeah, he gave up the 4 runs early. I have his line up on the sheet. It was 5 innings, 4 runs, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 86 pitches.
He's given up a lot of long balls. He's given up a lot of long balls on the fastball, by the way, which is a little bit of a problem.
Jason Adams saved that night, by the way.
Yeah, it's great because you weren't going to use Mason Miller again.
4 days in a row.
Yeah. Good for Jason Adams. Do you know Germán Márquez leads all pitchers in Major League Baseball with home runs allowed? With 5.
He does know it's not Denver anymore, right? Like
he hasn't pitched in Colorado once this year.
This is a sea-level ballpark here, sir.
Yeah, one that he has done well in up until like his last start he had against the Padres when he was on the Rockies. But overall, like here's like your traditional standard pitching line. Germán Márquez, negative 0.2 WAR, according to Baseball Reference. He's 2-1 with a 5.54 ERA in 3 starts. He has gone 13 innings and has allowed 5 home runs. He has allowed 8 earned runs over those 13 innings. 10 strikeouts. He's walked 4, which is good. That's actually the least amount out of any of the starting pitchers. He's not walking a lot of guys. He's given up a lot of long balls. His ERA plus comes in at 74. He's done okay. If you look at their if you looked at their first 2 times through the rotation, you thought for sure Germán Márquez was out pitching Walker Buehler. Walker Buehler was having a rough time getting going. But since that start on Saturday, now 3 times through the rotation, Walker Buehler has a better WAR than Germán Márquez, albeit by 0.1 points. He has a negative 0.1 B WAR. He's 0-1 with a 4.97 ERA, under 5. 3 starts this season. He's gone 12 2/3. He's given up 7 earned runs on 11 hits. He's only given up 1 home run. Walker Buehler's walked 5. We've seen him get a little wild, but he has punched out 11. He's got an 82 ERA plus. Those 2 players, Frank, as you look at it, they've had a little bit of like kind of a similar start to the season and making it even more difficult because one will have a really good outing as the other one has a clunker, and then they'll roll reverse at this point in time as they have both made 3 starts this year.
Yeah, the really bad one from Buehler was the game against Boston. I believe that was their opening day. That was the really poor start. He pitched very, very well on Friday. I was very pleasantly surprised by that. And also, he only threw 68 pitches, and 50 of those 68 pitches were strikes. So he went 6 innings, and that was a night where he probably could have gone 7 or 8. if he was getting a full workload in. So I was very pleasantly surprised with Walker Buehler from Friday, but then you turn that around with Germán Márquez the next night. It looked like he was going to be in some deep water very, very early, but was able to turn around, was still solid. But I would still give a little bit of an edge to Walker Buehler in this case, partly because he's younger. You don't have
the same age. They're both 31.
They are 30. Oh, It feels like Marquez has been there for forever. I would still give it to a little bit more to Buehler. Marquez has been a little bit more shaky. Marquez is throwing more pitches. I just, there's something in me that believes in Walker Buehler a little bit more than Germán Márquez at this point.
I think he looks better. I also think he's embraced being a different pitcher now.
Yes.
I really do. And the other thing too is with Walker Buehler, I like the way he just looks like he's competing a little bit more. Like I feel like you could be, I like the way he competes, and I think you're going to need that later on in the season. But it's going to be a tough decision because they're kind of the same right now. I mean, they're really kind of the same. I think it was I thought Buehler looked really good on Saturday. I mean, if he could do that, if he could continue to do that, you're going to be okay at the number 5 spot in the rotation when Griffin Canning comes back or whatever it may be. But, the competition is increasing right now for these players. And it just seems like they keep one-upping each other in terms of like, all right, Buehler had a clunker. Marquez, great start. All right, Buehler's pitching for his life now. Then Buehler had a great outing, and now Marquez could be pitching for his life next. Like, I think this might continue. It might be up and down, but you're getting them to compete at a higher level where I think the more this plays out, the more they're going to put up numbers like a number 5 starter.
Yes. And I would give a slight edge to Walker Buehler. Also on that Friday too, we haven't talked about it yet. We got the decision on Jeremiah Estrada. He didn't go down. He went on the 15-day IL. So that's something that they're also going to have to work with. Gives the bullpen fights a little bit longer of a chance, because then you can start a 30-day clock on Jeremiah Estrada to come back with rehab outings. And then on Sunday, you had, of course, the Nick Pivetta injury. You also had the craziness with Freeland as well, because Kyle Freeland was supposed to start that game, and he was scratched while they were in the dugout in between like the anthem and in the top of the first inning with shoulder soreness. And they had to get Jimmy Herget, who was the opener for the first game of the series. He had to pitch as well. So it was just a freak and weird
Dollander
week.
Pitched too. Dollander threw like 80-something pitches the first time out.
Yeah, and then he goes, I mean, that was definitely not in the Colorado Rockies plans yesterday. So it was just a weird weekend all the way around between these two teams, as far on the injury front especially.
When we come back, we're going to take a deeper dive into the Germán Márquez and the Walker Buehler situation from a metric standpoint of like a decision that could be made between these two guys. But as of right now, I think they have bought themselves some time, unfortunately, due to the injury of Nick Pivetta. But we haven't gotten anything extra, because I got a text from one of my buddies. He's like, "Oh, I missed it. Is this bad?" I'm like, "We got no new information about Nick Pivetta than what we have yesterday, and I don't think you're going to get new information until Tuesday when the media is back in the clubhouse." But again, like, just to reiterate, they seem kind of calm about it after the game. I mean, Nick Pivetta like didn't want to answer any questions about it, which is like, dude, like, what do you think they're going to ask you after a game like that? I felt like he was getting a little bit too upset that people kept asking him questions about his elbow. I was like, I'm not going to answer that. Like, they're not going to ask you how Manny hit, dude. They're going to ask you what happened and how do you feel, because that's kind of a pressing issue for the Padres. I thought that was kind of, whatever. But he didn't seem that. The scary part was the curveball that missed way out, 92 on the fastball. The post game being like, oh, well, he was kind of dealing with this a little bit in spring training. I think that's interesting. I think the fact that he dealt with something like this in Boston and missed a month is interesting. I don't necessarily know if he's out for the year. He's got to have Tommy John surgery. I'm not going to speculate on this. It didn't look great, but I think the Padres have contingency plans now, and I think they have some good backup plans with some of these players. And now, obviously, it's a conversation between Walker Buehler and Germán Márquez still. But I think their tryout just got extended a little bit more. Who's currently winning that tryout? We take a deeper dive when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, Settings Urban Sports Station 97.3 The Fan. 11:34 on a Monday. Mondays suck, right? But you know what? Don't they feel better don't you feel better after a Padres sweep over the weekend on a Monday? All right,
No.
speak for yourself.
Well, no, because there's not a chance to make it a 6-game winning streak today. I have to wait until tomorrow for that.
That is the downside, is the Monday off days. How many of these do we have to go through?
Quite a bit. It's not Thursday anymore.
I prefer the Thursday ones because at least you're like getting excited for the weekend. It's a good like end of the recap with our Epic Padres roundtable presented by Epic Wings.
Tell me what wingy.
Save that for Wednesday, big dog. And then Thursday again. I know, but you get the wing Wednesday and Wednesday.
Wingy Wednesday, yeah.
And then you get the double in the morning on a Thursday.
MLB.com is not cooperating with me.
Yeah,
right now.
neither am I. I'm on MLB.com's as Padres looking at the schedule home.
See, this is why we have
pinwheel wheel of death. Yeah, you got it right there.
This is why we have paper here. Hold on. Switch the stupid stream back.
All right. What do we got?
We have
how many Monday off days we have?
We have this Monday and next Monday off.
Oh, I'm finally loaded.
And then it's next Friday because it's the Mexico series on Saturday and Sunday with Arizona.
Correct.
Then it's next Thursday.
I just care about the Mondays though.
Monday is
the 11th. There are only one
May
Monday
11th,
off in May.
The first Monday and the 1st of June is a Monday. They're off then.
You got the home run derby on July
All-Star
13th.
break. Then it's the 27th of July, and then the 21st of September.
And then the 28th of September, which is the end of the season.
21st night of September.
Do you remember?
No.
21st night of September. No, nobody does because the Padres didn't play that day. All right, let's talk about the Walker Buehler, Nick Pivetta situation. Or sorry, Walker Buehler, Germán Márquez situation, and like a deeper dive into how they have done. Overall, number-wise, Frank, they've been pretty similar. Let's talk about the outing on Friday for Walker Buehler. That was his best start as a Padre. I don't think anybody's really arguing that. He has made 3 starts now. He had 6 scoreless innings. He allowed 3 hits. Didn't walk anybody. I thought that was very important with Walker Buehler on Friday against the Rockies. No earned runs, 4 strikeouts, 5 whiffs on just 68 pitches. Very efficient outing out of Walker Buehler. Now, some of his key metrics. Overall grades, he got a C+ on his stuff, B- on pitch locations. The PLV stat or the PLV ranking from this, and that is pitcher list stats group, they gave him a B. And they gave him his results an A-, his strongest all-around outing so far. His primary pitch was the cutter. He used the cutter a lot. 89.1 miles an hour on the cutter. He used a true 7-pitch mix: cutter, 4-seam, sinker, changeup, slider, curveball, sweeper. He was very versatile on Friday night. He threw the cutter 16 times. 81% of the time it was a strike, and he got a 31% called strike whiff rate for his cutter, which is a solid number. He also had a 228 expected slug against on his cutter. His 4-seam fastball, 93.9, a little bit higher than we've seen out of Walker Buehler. He threw that 12 times. He had good rise to his fastball. His sinker had good sink and run, threw that 11 times. Dabbled in the changeup 10 times. Excellent 50% plus called strike whiff rate in limited use of the changeup, which is good to see. Slider, curveball, sweeper, all showed swing and miss potential. His curve at 33% on the called strike whiff. Sweeper was high stuff grade, which we knew going into the season that was going to be his best pitch. Cutter and fastballs had good separation. Locations graded at C+ versus lefties, B+ versus righties. Improvement from his last time out. Kept the ball down, mixed eye levels effectively, balance across the arsenal, no over reliance on one pitch. And for the context of the season, I mean, through 12 to 13 innings pitched in 3 starts, he's sitting around a 4.97 ERA with 11 strikeouts and 5 walks. He tends to look sharp early in games, as we've discussed before, but is faded later in some outings. And this start was a clear step forward in command and efficiency. I think he can build off of this, because what was the biggest problem for Walker Buehler in his first 2 starts, Frank? It was the command.
Yes, and he really reined that in. As I said, 68 pitches, 50 strikes in those 68 pitches, and not a lot of them were swing and miss either. Like he got a lot. He was in the zone all night long. So a great bounce back outing for Walker Buehler, and one that he would definitely love to build on as we head into the Vedder Cup tomorrow.
Let's talk about Germán Márquez. He had a mixed bag on Saturday. 5 innings, 4 earned runs, all on 3 homers, 4 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 12 whiffs on 86 pitches. He got swings and misses, but paid for a lot of mistakes with the long ball. Overall grades, got a C+, locations got a D+. His overall grade for the game was a C. His results were a D. Better raw stuff than his debut, but command and homer issues hurt the outcome of this potential start. 4-seam fastball was at 95, which is up from his previous start. He had 15 inches on his IVB, 13.9 inches on his horizontal break. If you look at his pitch breakdown, he threw a lot of curveballs. He threw 37 of them. This is his most elite pitch that we've seen in a Padres uniform. Threw him 43% of the time against left-handers, but it was his best pitch again. 85.5 miles an hour, 16%. Or should I say 24% on the called strike whiff rate. And he had an elite 182 expected slug against on that curveball. So getting a high stuff plus ranking of a 113 on the curveball. His curveball is an elite pitch, Frank. That's a big reason I think he might be worth keeping on this team. He does have a little bit more of the elite pitches compared to Walker Buehler. But again, his fastball is not doing the same amount of damage, and he's missing a lot more than Walker Buehler is.
Looking at the eye test, I would say that Walker Buehler has been the better pitcher this season, just by watching. And as you said, Germán Márquez leading the league in home runs allowed for pitchers, especially in this type of ballpark, in this type of scenario. He's pitched at Petco Park in 2 of his 3 starts, and he's given up the home runs here. So I would lean more towards Walker Buehler again. It just has not worked for Germán Márquez. I understand that stuff has been elite, but how long are you going to have to wait on that elite stuff to finally show up?
Well, let's talk about it from this perspective. Here's his fastball. He threw it 30 times, 67% strikes. He got crushed on homers, though. I mean, he had his expected slugging against was 1738 on the fastball. That's awful. I mean, you can't do anything with that. Slider was okay. He had decent whiff rate on slider. Sinker had good movement, but high contact damage. Changeup he used twice, really used. Fastballs had solid rise to him. Curve had a tight cluster. Locations were a D- though versus lefties. He leaked a lot of stuff over the heart of the plate. C+ versus righties. He attacked more aggressively, but he missed over the plate too often. Heavy curveball fastball mix. We've seen this in a Padres uniform. More slider use out of Germán Márquez than earlier starts, but through 13 innings in 3 starts, he's 2-1 with a 5.54 ERA. He's got the 10 strikeouts with a 1.69 WHIP. Had a disaster debut against San Francisco with 2 home runs allowed.
What are his walks? How many walks he allowed?
He doesn't have as many walks.
No, I'm asking for the number. I'm not.
He
asking.
Has 4 walks allowed.
Okay.
Which is tied for second least on the team with Randy Vasquez, which is surprising with Randy. 4 walks. Here's like the overall synopsis I have on this particular situation. Like, and you can look at the context, but when Buehler misses, he walks people. Mm-hmm. When Germán Márquez misses, it's over the middle of the plate and it goes over the fence. Walks are terrible. You can't stop a walk. Home runs are equally terrible that you also can't stop. But the difference is the ball going over the fence leads to runs. Walks, you could still kind of battle your way through it if you had to pick between walks and home runs. I think that gives Buehler with an edge, but I think based on the fact that Germán Márquez's stuff has been better, and based on the fact that Walker's been a little bit more consistent with his usage, I think Walker Buehler has the edge in the run prevention in his outings than Márquez. And Márquez only has one quality start, but he has a higher ERA. He has one quality start, but a higher ERA overall, and has led to 5 home runs. I just think like you have a higher floor with Walker Buehler, but you have a higher ceiling with Germán Márquez, which doesn't make the decision process any easier when you have to make it down the road.
It means you're kind of hoping for an IL stint, if that's the case, to help get some of these guys, to help give these two a more shots. You can't separate the two right now through just 3 starts. So you would like a couple more, and unfortunately, the best way to do that right now would be with an IL stint for Nick Pivetta.
Every single one of these aspects of a pitcher you grade, it's like Márquez has a higher velo, but Walker Buehler's got a better, deeper pitch mix. And you look at like command, like, Buehler has more walks because he misses outside the zone. Márquez doesn't walk as many people because they're putting the ball over the fence because he's looking over the heart of the plate. Both generate decent whiffs when right, but it's still not a lot. Márquez throws more pitches per outing per inning than Walker Buehler does. It's like slight differences of which one do you prefer, but it's relatively the same pitcher in terms of results, which means you need more time to figure out who is going to be the guy that's still on the team when you start making some of these roster moves. And this is why you could kind of view some of this from a positive light of losing Nick Pivetta. It gives you a little bit more time to make a decision. And then you're going to add Matt Waldron into the picture. And you're just hoping that Matt Waldron continues to dominate like he does in AAA. Because if he pitches like this, and now he has a different aspect, he's got the knuckleball, and this is the, you're just going to be like taking a big shot in the dark on trying to make a right decision on the starting staff. The good news is they're competing though. And they're giving you good outings as a number 5 starter. The problem is you're about to have potentially 3 of them in your rotation.
For me personally, I'm taking potential damage over physical damage. And that would mean Walker Buehler. Because, yes, while walks do hurt, the potential is there. They don't hurt as bad as home runs, especially with runners on base.
My edge right now is Walker Buehler. And maybe it's a recency bias because of like how he did, but I agree with you. Like if Buehler misses, he's walking guys. If Germán Márquez misses, it's getting deposited over the fence. One or the other. I'd rather take the walks over the home runs. I understand the whole like solo home runs won't hurt you, but when you're giving up as many as Germán Márquez is giving up, it will hurt you eventually, just as much as walks do. Lots going on in the sports world. We had some things happen. We're getting close to hockey playoffs, NBA playoffs. The Masters were over the weekend. San Diego FC was in action. Let's get you updated on today's sports thread.
You know that group chat? The one that's always blowing up with the biggest sports takes, debates, and breaking news?
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me?
Yeah, we've got that too. Welcome to the Sports Thread, where we break down the top 5 stories in sports, just like you would with your crew.
Oh, no! Disaster! What a bad idea!
No filters, no silence, just real talk.
All right, Frank, what's going on in the sports world today?
We're steering away from some of the bigger stories that we're going to be using as segments like the Masters. We'll talk about that later. The Milwaukee Bucks are parting ways with head coach Doc Rivers after 3 seasons marked by inconsistency, including a 97-103 record, 2 first-round playoff exits, and missing the postseason entirely this year, prompting the franchise to begin its 3rd coaching search in 3 years. Despite Rivers' Hall of Fame resume and past success, including a championship with the Boston Celtics, internal disconnects with players and ongoing injury issues, particularly involving Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard, contributed to the decision, signaling a major offseason reset for a team that has not won a playoff series since 2022. Was moving on from Doc Rivers the right move for the Bucks, or are their struggles more about roster and injuries over coaching?
I think it was the right move. They hired him like in the middle of a season, didn't they? Like, it wasn't super weird when they're like, "Hey, we're bringing Doc Rivers in." Yeah, it wasn't going to work. They have a lot of issues. How many times out of our NBA update do we have to talk about Giannis?
Yeah,
and potentially leaving the Bucks. I mean, they're kind of a disaster. Giannis wants to win. He also wants to get paid. I can't see him being there much longer. I think he gets traded during the offseason, and I think the Bucks restart with a brand new coach and a brand new reset. And at least in the NBA, like 10 teams make the playoffs. You got the play-in tournament this week. So I think it's probably the right move for the Bucks to move on from Doc Rivers and just kind of reset as an organization.
And Giannis has also not closed the door on a reunion with Milwaukee next year.
Number 2.
An appeal starting over. An appeals panel upheld a prior ruling that there was insufficient evidence to prove NFL teams colluded in contract negotiations involving quarterbacks Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, and Russell Wilson following Deshaun Watson's fully guaranteed $230 million deal, despite acknowledging that teams have been invited by the National Football League to engage in potentially improper behavior. The ruling reinforces the arbiter's earlier decision that while the situation raised concerns, it did not meet the threshold of proving collusion under the collective bargaining agreement, marking a significant setback for the NFLPA in its challenge. Even without proof of collusion, do you think Watson's fully guaranteed contract changed how teams negotiate quarterback deals moving forward?
I think it probably does. I think a lot of organizations are starting to realize that you can't give all this guaranteed money to guys that are aging and that are getting, the guys that are aging. I don't think it's not lucrative. I think you can see that in a lot of sports. I think giving guys massive contracts with a lot of years never really works out. You never really get the full benefit of the contract. Most of the time you're paying somebody for what they used to be and not what they currently are. So it's not shocking that teams were making the smart decision with this. And I think a lot of teams are starting to do that. I don't think teams are calling each other going like, we're going to offer this. So can you offer this? So we make sure the players don't make any money. Are you kidding me? It's kind of ridiculous. But I do think a lot of organizations are starting to realize that long-term fully guaranteed or mostly guaranteed contracts kill you as an organization in terms of trying to be good.
Yep. Especially in the NFL.
Number 3.
Sticking with the NFL, projected number 1 overall pick Fernando Mendoza has decided he will not attend the NFL draft in Pittsburgh, opting instead to experience the moment privately with family in Miami, even as the Las Vegas Raiders are widely expected to select him number 1 overall after his championship run at Indiana. Mendoza joins a growing trend of top prospects choosing more personal draft night settings, highlighting how the once centralized spectacle is evolving for players balancing public expectations with personal milestones. Do you see top picks attending the draft in person for the moment, or does it make more sense for players to celebrate privately with family? Do you like seeing top picks attending?
I think the whole attending thing is a joke. I think it's gotten out of control. It's kind of ridiculous now. And then you have the girlfriends that are just try to make it more about them. It's just, and then it's like the awkward. What happens if he doesn't go in the first round? I mean, there's always they're picking guys that the media are talking about who potentially might go in the first round. I mean, save the embarrassment. Enjoy it with your family. Enjoy it with your loved ones, the close people there. It doesn't need a big show thing. I don't need to see him do some fake handshake with the commissioner. Who cares?
And Jocelyn brings up a good point. Doesn't his mother have a serious health issue, medical issue?
Yeah, good for him.
So,
enjoy it with the people that brought you here, that got you to this point. I think that's better than being on television.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 4.
The Milwaukee Brewers may be facing another setback as star outfielder Christian Yelich exited yesterday's 8-6 loss to the Washington Nationals with a left hamstring issue, and early indications suggest potential concern. Manager Pat Murphy said imaging revealed fluids in the area that hinted at possible bad news, though the team is awaiting further results. The issue adds to a growing list of injuries for Milwaukee, which is already without contributors like Jackson Churio and Andrew Vaughn, and comes amid a 5-game losing streak after a strong start to the season. Despite the concern, Yelich is batting .314 with 10 RBIs, initially wanting to remain in the game, but the team opted for caution in the early season. How much can an early season injury like Yelich's injury impact the team's long-term success, especially for contenders trying to build momentum?
I mean, it's a rough spot. I mean, this is the whole conversation of it's not who you play, it's when you play them. I mean, teams that play Milwaukee right now are going to get an advantage of not having to deal with Christian Yelich, not playing him at full strength, rack up some wins before they get hot. It does affect. You can't make the playoffs in April, but you can sure miss the playoffs in April.
And they were rolling to start the season.
And they were rolling. Yeah, they're now 8-7. They were off to one of the best records in baseball to get things started. New lunch time hour when we come back. Fernando playing second base. We'll talk more about it when we come back.
the beaches to the ballparks, from the Gaslamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime year.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
New Lunchtime Hour on the Fan is brought to you by the Craft Taco. Bold flavors, 2 locations, Sorrento Valley and inside Balboa Park's Natural History Museum. Somebody give Jeremiah some tacos.
I'm waiting for the tacos. Where the damn tacos at?
Thought his grandmother was.
No, she's bringing him tamales.
Oh, my bad.
That's what he said. He went on the injured list. We haven't really talked about that too much. Jason Adam came back. They put Jeremiah Estrada on the injured list. Hopefully he could get right that he needs to be. I mean, his velocity has been down. He had been talking about that. He talked about it post game on, was that Thursday? Yeah, because they activated Jason Adam on Friday. I don't know what actually happened. I mean, that to me, and again, I don't know what actually happened. That to me is almost like, you want to go in the IL or do you want to go down to El Paso?
They swapped those two on the roster and then had the two of them do the
that same day.
They had the in-game dad joke thing in between innings with those two.
That's hilarious. Hopefully he gets ready. The Padres are better when Jeremiah Estrada's pitching well. And we haven't seen it. Like, end of last year, it wasn't very good. And, he honestly, like, if you look at, this is like the same thing we did with Wandy Peralta, right? The problem with relief pitchers, just in general, the problem with relief pitchers is everything is magnified because they don't pitch as much, like inning-wise. So their numbers like drastically jump after one bad outing. That was our entire narrative we had about Wandy Peralta last year. The entire narrative. And people wanted to disagree, like, Wandy Peralta, he's terrible, all this other stuff. I'm like, he's actually not that. He's pretty consistent. He has had the one batting against the Yankees last year, and it ruined his ERA for like most of the season. And then he really settled into being exactly what you thought Wandy Peralta was going to be. I think you could see the same thing about Jeremiah Estrada. Now, his velo is down. He's not pitching like he used to. But if you look at Jeremiah Estrada this season, Frank, how many games this season has Jeremiah Estrada given up earned runs?
Oh, I would say if he's pitched 4 games, he's probably done.
He's pitched in 7 games.
It's probably 4 of them. Probably 4 or 5 of them.
Are you being sarcastic? Or is that your actual answer?
No, that's my serious guess.
I'll lay it out like this. He's got like a 5-point-something ERA in 7 games, right? Mm-hmm. How many games has he given up earned runs? 1. He has given up earned runs in 1 game, that was the first game of the season.
How many games of which has he given up runs, period, whether earned or unearned? 2. Really?
Detroit and Colorado. Now, the 2 runs that he gave up against the Rockies were unearned because they started on second base. He didn't even pitch to the guys that ended up coming around to score. But that's what I'm talking about with relief pitchers. Like, everybody wants to just cast off Jeremiah Estrada to the moon. But this is what Jeremiah Estrada has done this year. In the first game, wasn't great. Gave up 4 earned runs on 1 hit, went 2/3 of an innings, had 3 walks. Terrible. Pitched against the Giants. 1 inning, 1 hit. That was it. Pitched, well, I don't know how many strikeouts he had. Okay. First game, he had 2 strikeouts, too. All right, so these are his numbers. Ready? He pitched against the Giants in his second outing. He went an inning, allowed 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. He pitched against the Giants the next day. He went an inning, 2 strikeouts. He pitched against the Red Sox, an inning. That's it. He pitched against the Red Sox again, an inning, a strikeout. He pitched against the Pirates, 1 inning, 1 hit. That is the majority of his numbers. And then against the Rockies, he went 1 1/3, which is his longest outing of the year. And he gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, both of them unearned, 2 walks and a strikeout. Is he cooked, chat? Seriously, think about that for a second. This is the same conversation we had with Wandy Peralta last year, about Wandy Peralta last year. His numbers get magnified because he's a relief pitcher and he doesn't throw a lot. Do you know what his numbers are in between those games? So he pitched in 7 games, right? Only 1 of the games he gave up earned runs, and in 2 games he gave up runs. In the other 5 games, he went 5 innings, allowed 2 hits. He had 5 strikeouts, no walks, a 0 ERA, obviously, and a 1.15 fielding independent pitching. That's pretty good, Frank, is it not? Opponent's batting average on balls in play was a 167. I mean, it's not terrible. You just throw in the Rockies game, too. Throw the Rockies game in there. Aside from the first game, these are his numbers this season. He's gone 6 1/3. He has given up 2 runs unearned on 4 hits with 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, and a 2.20 fielding independent pitching. Opponent's batting average on balls in play, 267. That's not necessarily the best, but it's not terrible. Are those numbers bad for a bullpen guy, Frank?
No,
6 1/3, 2 runs,
horrible.
both unearned, 4 hits, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, and a 2.20 on the fielding independent pitching. It's not bad. This is the same conversation we had about Wandy Peralta last year.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody could not wait to get rid of Jeremiah Estrada. I know he finished the season poorly last year, but again, with the relief pitchers, you're only going to notice when they give up runs. Because most of the time this season, Jeremiah Estrada has not given up any runs. In fact, as I mentioned before, he has made 7 appearances. And in those 7 appearances, he has only had 1 appearance in which he has given up earned runs. Only 1. The other time was against the Rockies, and they were both unearned runs because he inherited the runner on second. Now, obviously, he needs to be better. He can't be giving up inherited runners and all that other stuff. I get it when you're pitching in a higher leverage role. But in the defense of Jeremiah Estrada, despite his fastball being down, despite thinking that he has been awful, Frank, overall, you look at his results, it hasn't been that poor. Now, if you want to look at his advanced metrics, I'm sure there's a lot more that are telling that he might be getting a little bit more lucky than unlucky in terms of things going his way. But when you're looking at just results, remember everybody likes to tell us the eye test results. It matters about the results. These results would tell you that he's not having that bad of a start to the year.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not, it hasn't been great to the eye test, but yeah, when you look at the numbers and when you look at it like that, he's doing a lot better than what I thought he was. In all honesty, I would not have guessed him only allowing 1 earned run in 7 outings this year. Would not have guessed that at all.
I mean, and he's going to be on the injured list now, and it frees up an opportunity for Jason Adam. I'd like to see Jason Adam get a little bit more work. Obviously, they're kind of easing him back into it, but I mean, you look at that compared to, Adrian Morejon's been awful. If you want to look at results, Adrian Morejon's got a 10.8 ERA right now. He's one of the best pitchers in your staff. You get him right more than necessarily maybe getting Jeremiah Estrada right. I asked the question. I said, how many outings has Jeremiah Estrada given up earned runs? The answer is 1. How many outings has Adrian Morejon given up earned runs? He has had 6 outings on the season, Frank. How many of his outings has he given up an earned run?
Morejon, I would say 2.
He has given up earned runs in 4 of the 6 outings. He worked 2. Now, he goes a little bit deeper. I mean, he throws a little bit more in terms of innings, but Game 1, he threw 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Against the Giants, 1 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Against the Red Sox, an inning, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 2 strikeouts. Against the Pirates, a third of an inning, 5 runs, 4 earned, 5 hits, and a strikeout. And against Colorado, in that same game, by the way, in that same game that Jeremiah pitched in, he went an inning, 1 hit, and then over the weekend, the very next day on Friday, the 5-2 win, he goes 2/3 of an inning. He gave up the 2 runs of the game. He gave up 2 earned runs on 4 hits. He's gone 6 2/3 innings on the season. He has given up 8 earned runs, 9 total, 15 hits, 5 strikeouts. And he's only walked 1. He has been a lot worse than Jeremiah Estrada has. In fact, he's got 3 blown saves already, which is surprising to me, but here we are. Again, these are all small sample sizes with relief pitchers, but as one put in the YouTube chat, should we DFA Morejon? Dude has an ERA over 10. I mean, this is how fickle these things are when it comes to the bullpen, first of all, and on top of it, this early in the season. I mean, Morejon the rest of the way could just probably throw up a bunch of shutouts, and his ERA will start plummeting fast. But for as many people that wanted to jettison Jeremiah Estrada, and I from the eye test, I would say he's been a little bit more shaky. The results say different for Jeremiah Estrada compared to Adrian Morejon. So I think the bullpen's been okay. I think the bullpen could be a lot better. It's good to have Jason Adam back. I like the way Bradley Rodriguez has been pitching. I think Kyle Hart's helped you out a big way this particular season. David Morgan, I think, has been doing a phenomenal job. But it's too early in the season to really pay attention to bullpen arms because they don't throw a lot. I mean, 6 2/3 innings. He's barely made a start, if that's the case. He's done that in 6 games. Of course it's going to be all over the place. I mean, if a starting pitcher went 6 2/3 innings, Frank, and gave up 9 runs, what a disaster of a day that would have been.
I'd be surprised if they gave up, if they were allowed to pitch 6 2/3 innings at that point.
That guy got fed to the wolves that day, So that's just kind of how it lays out. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about how Craig Stammen is really utilizing this roster. I think Craig Stammen's doing a good job. And the fact that he's not afraid to make some of these moves, I think is great. Fernando's playing second. I bet you a lot of people freaked out about it over the weekend. We'll discuss our thoughts of what we think about Fernando batting second when we come back. Broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios, we know how. We got a fun prize for the rest of the month for the Midday Sports Standoff.
Yeah, so that changed. It's no longer the what was it? My Chemical Romance, right? That's what it was?
That is correct.
Yeah, it's no longer the My Chemical Romance prize.
It's a great prize. In fact, somebody that called in who won on Friday thought he won tickets to a Padres game. Well, guess what? If you can call in at 12:45 today and successfully take me down in sports trivia, you will be qualified for a chance to win this month's grand prize, which is now a pair of field level seats to Padres and Phillies on Memorial Day. You guys already have the day off. It's Memorial Day. Take me down in sports trivia, get qualified to potentially win field level seats to Padres and Phillies. This is a great prize. It's a great prize for the Midday Sports Standoff. So give us a call, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. And at 12:45, get in line, try to take me down in sports trivia. If you win, you get put in the hopper. If you lose, well, you can keep trying. And again, you're only competing against people that have won the Midday Sports Standoff. So you got pretty good odds. It's already April 13th. We haven't had a lot of people qualify yet. So it's a good opportunity. 12:45 today. Give us a call. All right, let's talk about Fernando playing second base. This is funny because this happened Saturday, right? So Saturday, like my Saturdays, I do boot camp. What's called boot camp? It used to be called boot camp. Now it's basically go out there and play Frisbee at the park. I woke up, I did that. It was raining. That was the only time on Saturday it was actually raining. And so I did the boot camp, right? And then we go get coffee as a group. It's kind of a fun deal. A little nice little start to a Saturday. My brother goes and his buddies, my parents goes. It's good. A little fun community activity in Scripps Ranch. Have a great time doing that. And then after that, my friend, she was craving a sandwich. I already gone to Costco to get, make my meal prep stuff for the weekend, which I meal prepped way too much stuff on Sunday. I was cooking like all day on Sunday, but I digress. I have meals for the week now. Anyway, and she texts me and she's craving Sandwich Emporium. Now, for us living up in the Scripps Ranch area, it's a little bit of a drive down to Sandwich Emporium, which is a great place. Always get a good sandwich there. She was craving the Sandwich Emporium. So we drove down there and we get a sandwich, all that stuff. I get the notification on my phone because I have Padres notifications turned on that they have announced their lineup. And I go through it. I don't look at the positions. I just roll through it. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I get a text message and it said, I'm sorry, who is playing second base? And I'm like, what? Like Ty France or something like that? I look down and I go, oh, got a little bit of a shake around here. So I texted Frank. I said, hell of a lineup today. And what did Frank respond with?
It's like a normal lineup to me.
And I said, look again. Trust me. Look again. I didn't even tell him like where to look. I said, just look again.
Yep.
And he responded with, what's going on? That's kind of what he said. He said something else that I can't say on the radio, but that's what he said. It's interesting. I was like, what the guys all over the place? Xander Bogaerts. I originally, when I saw it, I'm like, oh, Xander got a day off. And then I'm like, okay, well, who's playing shortstop? Oh, Cronenworth's playing shortstop. They decided to go with Fernando Tatis Jr. at second base. A lot of people became alarmed about this.
Oh, Cronenworth's playing short. Oh, look, Fernando's playing second. Nick Castellanos. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm out. What did I just say?
I played the game with my friend because she watches baseball. Obviously, she's a Padres fan. She listens to the show, so she understands.
What's wrong with this?
I said, I was like, let's play a game, which is never good. Feels like Saw then at that point. But I was like, all right, here are the players for the Padres that are playing today. Where are you playing them? And so we kind of went through the exercise. And if you go back to Saturday's game, I mean, you're starting to like go through like there's a lot of There's a lot of outfielders right now on this team. So I had her go through it. I'm like, all right, so okay, here's the players that are playing on Saturday's game. Ramon Laureano, Fernando Tatis Jr., Jackson Merrill, Manny Machado, Nick Castellanos, Gavin Sheets, Miguel Andujar, Freddie Fermin, and Jake Cronenworth. Those are the 9 players playing the game today. And I will give you a hint. I will fill in one of the blanks. I said Andujar is the designated hitter. Where do you play, everybody? And she was like, okay, well, Manny plays third. I'm like, yeah. It's a good start. Manny's playing third. He was like, well, Gavin Sheets probably has to play first base, right? I said, yeah. And she's like, well, Fermin's going to catch. I'm like, yeah, we're on a good start here. And then she was like, okay, well, then you have Laureano. I guess Laureano's in left. And then, what do you do with Castellanos? You got Castellanos and Tatis and Merrill. And she starts going well, Bogarts isn't playing, so Cronenworth has to play shortstop. I'm like, yep.
Yeah, we put that together. There you go.
Good. And then it was like, wait a minute. There's 3 outfielders. She said Merrill to second base. She thought you go Merrill second base because he came up as a shortstop young player.
That was a lot of the conversation towards the end of last year about why not have Merrill play short with, I believe it was with Bogarts that went down or somebody went down in the infield. So she probably remembered some of that we discussed at the end of last year.
I look at, and then you know what she said after that? I said, it's not Merrill. Merrill's in center. She was like, well, what about Castellanos? Because he started as a shortstop, playing first base. I'm like, no, he's in the outfield. It's like Fernando's playing second. Yeah, Fernando's playing second. That was the most excited I was to watch a baseball game all year. I had to watch Fernando play second base. I was like, I got to see what this looks like. I was waiting for them to delete the tweet. I was waiting for them to delete the tweet like they had a typo.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't. It was legit. And I couldn't wait to watch him play second base. I couldn't wait to see if he was going to run out to the field still and do his thing and then run back to second. But Craig Stammen decided to put Fernando at second base. Back to his roots in the infield, not full time. You know, he made the surprise starts this weekend at second base. I thought he did a great job. Situational role. They wanted to give Cronenworth days off. They wanted to give Bogarts days off. They needed somebody to fill in. Because, again, this was the conversation in spring training about, do you keep XYZ in the infield so you can have a backup? Remember the conversation? You got to have a backup shortstop. How many backups do you think you carry on a team? So Fernando got some opportunities at second base, and he is expected to fill in for Jake Cronenworth and Xander Bogaerts when they need rest. I like the way that they're kind of giving guys rest right now. Oh, and they're winning. They really have a lack of a true backup second baseman with Sung Moon Song on the injured list. I'm curious to see if they bring Sung Moon Song back, when they bring him back up to the major leagues, if he's going to be in that spot, or if you're going to see Fernando more. But it works because of a lot of different reasons. Elite athlete, defensive versatility. He's got a lot. I don't need to hear the reasons of why him playing second base makes sense. I think now the question becomes how much of it sparked his offense, or is it a coincidence? Right? In 2 games at second base, he's 5 for 9 with a walk. Manager Craig Stammen suggested on Saturday before the game, new position could free him up mentally. It's likely a small sample size, but is this the move that keeps him engaged and focused? Does it keep him mentally sharp? Is this a situation now, Frank, where he has to play more at second base, or is this a coincidence? I think it's more of a coincidence because the way we saw him actually pulling the ball on a line and in the air to left field in the first 2 games of the series, and he wasn't getting really rewarded for it. I think he's finally made the adjustment at the plate. I think it's just a coincidence that he finally got to get a bunch of hits when he was playing second base over the weekend.
Are we throwing Merrill at third now to free him up mentally?
When you go to the ballpark tomorrow, dude, you're going to see him taking fly balls. Better learn how to play in the outfield, Jake. You just lost your spot because Fernando's on a tear.
Yeah, well, just do we play the fun? I think this could be a fun game. that we could play right now is going into the comment section on Twitter on Saturday and Sunday just to see the disparity of Padre fan reactions to this news.
I think overall, though, I think this is a decision by Craig Stammen that a lot of traditional managers never want to make, and something that you get with a player.
And Rod even said that. We had Nick Castellanos doing post-game interviews on Sunday with Fernando. Did you not see that?
No.
He took one of the reporters' mics and started asking.
I didn't see that.
And started asking Fernando questions. So we got everyone playing different positions.
The vibe of the clubhouse is pretty money right now. It happens when you win 5 straight. But I think overall, this is the decision that, from a player's perspective, Craig Stammen knows these guys are athletic. These guys, they can move them all over the place. I am tired of hearing the narrative I can't do that. I've never played that position before. Give me a break. If they could teach Scott Hatteberg to play first base, they can move Fernando Tatis Jr. to second.
It's easy.
It's easy. It's incredibly hard. It's easy, Wash. Just tell him it's incredibly hard. I don't mind the move. I don't think it's the correlation. I think it's an interesting correlation. I don't think it's the real reason why Fernando's starting to swing the bat more. But I'd be interested to see them move other guys around. I think Fernando and Merrill could still play shortstop and be efficient. I really do. Because I put the question out there. I'm like, well, why not just have Fernando play shortstop? People are like, you don't remember all the years. Dude, he was 21 years old in the big leagues trying to show off his arm.
It's funny, and it is interesting because we said it's day game after a night game, that sort of thing. You don't usually have your catcher play day game after a night game. Looking back at the Saturday and Sunday comment section, everyone is freaking out about Fernando playing second on Saturday, saying that Craig Stammen has no idea what he's doing. He's lost his mind 12 games in.
Is that one of the comments?
Oh, yeah. There's a bunch of them in there. And then on Sunday, everyone is screaming and yelling about Camposano.
Why is he in the lineup?
Why is Camposano not hitting? It's unreal.
Not MLB The Show, my guy.
Get people just find something. I'm here for the platinum glove at second base for Fernando.
I think it brings this team a lot of versatility, though. I mean, you see this now more in baseball. I mean, players are moving positions more freely. Mookie Betts is playing shortstop after a Gold Glove right field career. Jackson Merrill transitioned from shortstop to center field. By the way, effortlessly. And the Padres are leaning into multi-positional roster construction. I think that's huge in trying to find the best 9 guys to swing and being able to maximize your athleticism defensively. This adds another benefit. Now you got more guys that can play in the infield. Let Fernando continue to take reps there. You're an emergency player in the infield, and maybe you got to get it, and maybe you need another game where I'm not only giving a guy a day off, but this really sets you up for having yesterday, having an all-righty lineup. They were going to have an all-righty lineup yesterday. And then Kyle Freeland got hurt. But they didn't have Sheets in the lineup yesterday. They didn't have Cronenworth in the lineup yesterday. They got rid of all the lefties. Bryce Johnson's a switch hitter. You could do that now with moving guys around and giving Jake Cronenworth the day off, who hasn't really been hitting at all this season either. I'd like to see Fernando play more infield. I don't necessarily know if this is a big reason for his success. I think a lot of people are pointing to when he moved to the outfield. Remember, he lost a little bit in his offensive production, and people are like, see, look, he's just upset out there. He's not as engaged. I think he's engaged regardless. But I'm curious to see what the lineup is on Tuesday, because now Xander and Cronenworth have both gotten the day off. Is there going to be a situation where you start moving pieces around again? You have Castellanos playing right, and you have Fernando playing second. That's going to be interesting for me. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. When we come back, we are going to play the Midday Sports Standoff for a chance to qualify for tickets field level. Padres, Phillies. Call in, get yourself in line, take me down sports trivia. You'll be entered for a chance to win tickets to watch the Padres play the Phillies on Memorial Day from the field level. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. We'll do that when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show. Settings Urban Sports Station 97 through the Fan. It's amazing how much content 3 games gives you over the weekend for us to talk about today. We would like diving into so many different angles of what the Padres have done. They've such a fun team to talk about, especially when they're doing well. Padres have now won 5 straight, kind of reset the start to the season that they have had. And now the second best record in Major League Baseball. I mean, I talked about it in my open today. If you missed it, go back and watch it on YouTube. Again, we appreciate you guys joining us on the YouTube page. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're pretty close. Like, we're doing a pretty good job. You guys continue to do a lot of great. You continue to support us very well. We really appreciate it. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're at 951. We have 49 more to go. It's free to do. You go to youtube.com/@B_SURP and you hit subscribe on the page. Once you do that, you have all of our information, all of our content in a lot easier position to access on a daily basis. And we talk Padres baseball all the time. This is the place you want to be if you're a Padres fan throughout the entire season. Our show is mostly Padres. I would say like 90% Padres. I mean, we'll talk a little bit about the Masters later on in the 1 o'clock hour. There's some other things trending around sports that we'll get to. We have a lot of extra content on YouTube as well. That's where we do a lot of our other sports updates. Like the San Diego Gulls made the playoffs this weekend. It's great to see. The Gulls are going to be in the playoffs, battling for the Calder Cup. They deserve it after the season that they have had. The Ducks still need to try to clinch in the NHL, but all of that content we post on YouTube. We have an NHL update and an NBA update we post every Thursday. We have updates for you on the NFL and on college athletics that we do usually on Mondays. We have San Diego FC updates. I mean, they had a loss over the weekend that we haven't talked about yet either, but we have those updates on YouTube as well. A lot of the stuff that we air on YouTube, we also air during commercial breaks on our YouTube page. So you get tons of content throughout the week, but you got to go to youtube.com/@B_SURP and subscribe. It makes it a lot easier to access. If you become a member, you get all the videos before everybody else does because we release it throughout the week. So there's some perks to that. I got some new merch coming out with new shirts and stuff like that. We got a blue and orange shirt coming out. We got a shirt that's got Frank's natural casing on the back.
We do?
It's the graphic. It's this guy.
I get. Oh, okay.
There it is. That guy.
I get royalties, right?
Maybe. Depends how much the shirts cost. We also got the regular brown and gold one, too, as well, that we're going to be debuting shortly. But I put that order in. We'll have a way for you guys to be able to get those on YouTube as well. But it really helps us out a lot. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're super close. If you guys can help out, that would be great. Again, we are broadcasting on the 97 Through the Fan YouTube page, as well as the Braden Surprenant YouTube page, youtube.com/@B_SURP. If you're on the 97 Through the Fan YouTube page, which is youtube.com/@973thefan. If you scroll a little bit, it says our shows, and right there you could subscribe to all of our shows. So you could subscribe to Bed and Woods. They have a subscribe button right underneath their logo. I have one under my logo. Gwen and Chris, Sam Levitt, Matt Scraby. Scraby's up to 400 subscribers. Great to see. Gwen and Chris up to 662. We're trying to bump everybody's subscriptions up. Again, free to do, super easy. And it makes it way easier to access our content on YouTube. And we got tons of it on both the 97 Through the Fan page and stuff that is exclusive to the Braden Surprenant show. So we will have that. We have that each and every day. We got other content for you that we're going to work on today and release throughout the week. So if you haven't done so already, youtube.com/@B_SURP, @BSURP, and be sure to subscribe if you don't already do so. We really appreciate that. We haven't had too much time to talk about Mason Miller and the Cy Young conversation. We're going to get to that in the 1 o'clock hour. That's been intriguing to see people throw that out there. We haven't really talked about how dominant he's been because we're just so used to him being so insanely dominant as a closer and racking up saves, if you will. What were you saying?
I was going to say, we did it on the San Diego Gulls update last week, but let's do it for those who didn't listen or haven't heard that yet.
He draws the foul.
The Gulls marketing team,
or whoever made this decision,
gets a major foul. This is a tech. When you sign a guy after you draft him by the name of Roger McQueen,
who had to do all of his photos at Carsland with Lightning McQueen,
and you give him the number 26 instead of 95, that's a foul.
Why aren't we giving him 95?
That's a tech.
Why aren't we giving him 95? Did he pick 26? Even if he picked 26, you're telling him you're picking 95.
Someone's got to say, listen, kid, you're not going to be here long. We need to make money.
Unless the Ducks specifically told the Gulls you cannot give him 95 because we're debuting it when he gets to Anaheim or something like that, there's no reason for him not to be wearing 95.
It's a major foul.
I'm pretty sure only Willie O'Reed's number is retired for the
Yes,
Gulls.
it is.
Maybe I'm
And
wrong.
that's
Maybe
number
there's
20.
somebody else that has retired number 95 with the Gulls,
Nope.
but there's no reason for him to be wearing 26. He should be wearing 95. You know who you are.
By the way, I just happened to scroll across this. We mentioned that the Buffalo Sabres had broke their long playoff drought, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen how much tickets are going for the Buffalo Sabres playoff game?
I don't want to know.
Their first playoff game of the first round.
$1,000.
Level 100, so down on the ice, section 106, row 14, seats 3 and 4.
Aftermarket or?
Yeah, aftermarket. It looks like Ticketmaster.
How much?
For 2 tickets, $11,925 for game 1 of the first round of the playoffs in Buffalo. $12,000.
What's the cheapest
for 2
ticket to get in?
tickets? I do not know.
Is that 12 total or 12 a ticket?
No, it's $12,000 total.
Oh,
for
6,000
for
a ticket.
2 seats. Yeah, for 2 seats. Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
Down
A lot
on
of those
the
never.
ice.
I see those all the time. A lot of those end up never selling
and
because people don't want to. Are you kidding me?
And as someone said, it's game 1 of round 1, not the Super Bowl.
I wouldn't even do that. If TCU magically made a national championship again, I would never do that. I would never do that. Absolutely not.
There's no reason to.
I paid $250 a ticket for their national championship game. And that was like too much, but I had to do it because they're in the national championship.
And
anything over $1,000 is absurd.
NASCAR does their ticketing properly. The best seats are the ones where you can see more, which is up higher. I do not want to pay $3,000 to have my view obstructed by 20 different things down on field level and miss plays in the corner. I want, if I were making a stadium or if I were making the seating prices for the stadium, the higher price tickets would be up top because you can see more.
There's only a certain amount of people that want to do that, though.
No, I understand that.
A lot of casuals like just to see the athletes up close or whatever.
That's cool.
You'd sell out the bottom floors for pretty quickly. I think you'd have a lot of open seats up at the top.
Okay. It looks better on TV.
Like Jake Waters says, you could list the ticket price for anything. When I see those guys, those tickets end up never selling, or they like quickly change it. I mean, sometimes they sell it just for way too much. It's a joke. All right. Speaking of tickets in the 100 sections, we are going to give you an opportunity to win tickets to Padres and Phillies field level seats on Memorial Day. If you could take me down in sports trivia, you'll be qualified to win those for this month. Let's get to today's Midday Sports Standoff.
Welcome to Midday Sports Standoff on the Braden Surprenant Show.
I can't believe what I'm seeing right now.
The ultimate head-to-head battle where sports knowledge and quick thinking collide.
That's no good. Are you kidding me?
Contestants will go toe-to-toe with Braden in a sports trivia deal where every correct answer brings them closer to victory.
Down the sideline! Wow! Unbelievable!
But 3 strikes and it's game over.
This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
Can you outsmart Braden? The Midday Sports Standoff starts now.
All right. Who we got playing today?
We have Arturo in San Diego playing today. Arturo, how you doing, bud?
By the way, is that trash can over there?
Yes, it is.
Short.
Yes,
How
you
you
are.
doing, guys?
How's it going, bud? So today, to prime ourselves for this Mason Miller conversation, he just earned his 6th save over the weekend, I believe. No, he earned his 6th save as a Padre on Wednesday. Who are the current top 10 leaders in saves all time for the San Diego Padres? So kind of a primer for this Mason Miller conversation. Arturo, are you ready?
Who are the top 10 leaders in saves?
Yes, top 10
All
Padres
time.
saves leaders all time. You have the first guess.
Top 10. So I guess Trevor Hoffman is one.
He's not just one, he is number one with 552 saves.
All right, well that's easy. Let's go with the Goose Gossage.
Goose Gossage, yes, he is number 4 on the list at 83 saves.
Hey, he had 83. How many does Trevor have?
552.
I don't think anybody's passing that.
No.
All right. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Heath Bell.
He's got to be number 2.
He is number 2 at 134.
I think Raleigh Fingers might be 3 if Gossage is 4.
He is number 3 at 108. Arturo.
Is it Lamet? No, Lamet.
No,
he
Denilson
has one.
Lamet is not on the list.
I want to say Mark Davis is on this list.
He very much is on this list. He is number 6 at 78 saves. Arturo?
Let me see. Is it, what's his name? Oh, you said Raleigh Fingers already. All-time Padre pitcher in saves. Is it Randy Jones?
No, he would have been a starter.
He's going back-to-back starters on those last 2
Yeah.
answers. What about Houston Street?
He would be number 5 at 80.
Wow.
He was 3 off of Goose. Arturo? 2 strikes on you. You need this one to stay alive. We're looking for 7, 8, 9, and 10.
You already said Goose Gossage. Oh, man. Relievers. I'm going to say, can't think.
I'll give you 5 more seconds, bud.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Arturo. That's strike 3. Braden, you want to close this one out? Get it? Close. Saves. Close it. Close it
Foul.
He draws the foul.
Robert Suarez.
Robert Suarez is number 7 at 77.
Wow. Okay. He's at 77. What about, I'm just thinking of like recent closers now because it's not like a ton on here. What about Kirby Yates?
It's number 9 at 56. Looking for 2 older guys now.
What is he at? 71?
Kirby hit 56.
56. The only other like closer I know about is Craig Lefferts. Wow.
64 at number 8.
I'm out of answers.
Gary Lucas would have been number 10 at 49. He had one more than Brad Hand, who I saw quite a bit.
Oh, Brad Hand. It would have been nice to bring him back just for one save, just for this. Not a bad question there, Frank. Let's talk about Mason Miller when we come back. Save situation. Can he win a Cy Young? Interesting. Had it's funny, I was just talking about these guys not too long ago. So at our sister station, 94.9, Alt 94.9, Jeremy at Alt 94.9 does a craft beer show.
Yes.
And so they have a bunch of craft beer people come in. They hardly ever bring us beer, but
except for today.
The Lost Abbey hooked us up today. So shout out to the Lost Abbey.
Must be a rainy day.
Why? Well, it's funny, like I don't know. I drove past. I've done a show at the Lost Abbey before. And we did it at the church at the Lost Abbey, which I think they still have, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. And one of my friends sent me the Instagram post of like because they have like the church downtown in East Village that they took over, like an old Presbyterian church, whatever. And it's now a brewery. Like there's taps and stuff. Like you can have a beer. We did a show there. It was super weird. It was interesting, like to be in a church, but anyway, they have like a church downtown, and that's where they brew out of, or that's where they have like a distiller, a place where they sell their beers. But they invited us up there to San Marcos. I have to go check it out, Frank.
For sure. Sounds like fun.
So they hooked us up with some Lost Abbey beers. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming in to say hi to Jeremy today. 1 o'clock hour. There's still a lot we want to talk about. We do want to talk about San Diego FC over the weekend. We do want to talk about Mason Miller. And we do want to talk a little bit about Rory at the Masters. We are broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. I got some questions on fouls here. Okay. Now, this did not affect me over the weekend. It affected some of my family members.
So are we potentially handing out fouls here?
I want to know if it's worth a foul.
Okay.
I really do. All right. So my brother this weekend went to a wedding. He was in a wedding. Okay. And without naming like places that they were at to hurt, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just going to keep
wedding during a NASCAR week at Bristol.
It was on a Saturday.
Yeah, they had the Xfinity race.
Oh, okay. You're worried about that? You can't outlaw all Saturday weddings, dude. We've already picked the fall.
I'm kidding.
We can add fouls post-event, yeah. We go look at the monitor, which is now, and we discuss, and we go like, there.
We're sending it out to New York for review.
Yeah, we're reviewing it right now. Okay, couple of things. Reception-wise.
Mm-hmm.
They had a reception at a very nice place. Super nice place. This place, I don't even tell you where the location is. Super nice high-end place.
Mm-hmm.
We had complaints about a couple of things. Now, let me know if this is a foul. I think it is for two things. Let's talk about the drinks. Mm-hmm. Now, I love an old-fashioned. I really do. It's probably one of my favorite cocktails. I do like bourbon over most liquors, hard liquors, if you will. And an old fashioned's great. Okay, old fashioned. Like if you do it traditionally, you take a sugar cube and you muddle it right into the bitters, and you get that going, and then you pour the bourbon, the big rock, all that stuff, a little orange garnish. Okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not new information for you, right? You know how an old fashioned's made? Even though you don't drink, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you make a traditional old fashioned. Now, there's cheat ways. You can do the simple syrup and all that stuff, but you have to stir, right? And then you serve it over a big rock. The wedding, they like put the big rock in the glass, and then they poured like the bourbon, and then they didn't even do bitters. And then they put a sugar cube on top of the big rock. And that's how they serve their old fashioned. Is that a foul?
Did it taste the same?
No, it was terrible. I was told it was terrible.
He draws the foul.
I feel like that's a foul. I feel like that's like an improper way. How can, like, if you're I don't want to judge the bartenders. That's foul. Sam in the chat says not a foul, it's a flagrant 2. That's an ejection, I think. I agree. I think that's kind of a foul. If you're going to serve an old fashioned, you want to get lazy like I do at my house, do a little simple syrup, fine. Okay.
For me,
cool.
as long as it tastes the same and tastes the way it's supposed to, everyone does things a little bit differently. But if it tastes wrong, if it tastes bad, then no, I'm sorry.
The sugar cube on top of the ice cube is crazy. Especially, I agree, at a nice place. I mean, this is a high-end place that they were at. It's a high-end hotel. That's how they made their old-fashioned. That is a whiskey with sugar and ice. That's exactly what that is. That's like, I'll have it on the rock. I'll have it on a big rock with sugar cube. It's not how you make an old-fashioned. Yeah, be like, are you for real right now? Do you want me to do it for you? I can go back there and do it.
You're asking the guy who doesn't. Like I said, I'm more about the process of it. If it tastes the way it's supposed to, then whatever. It may look weird, but fine. It tastes. You got the taste across. You got there a different way, but you got there at least.
All right. So
if it doesn't get there, then I'm sorry.
I was told it was terrible. So there you go. Foul. Got the foul. Here's the other foul. Maybe it's not a foul. Let me ask you this about valet etiquette.
Oh, no.
I know. The valet itself wasn't too expensive. I think it was like $18 to valet your car. That's all they had offered, right? Valet.
Okay.
The guy took the keys, parked the car.
Mm-hmm.
When they came back, they did not go get you the car. They gave you the keys and said,
He draws the foul.
here is where your car is parked. Do you tip that guy?
No.
He did park it for you, though. It's
I'm
not like
paying you to get it also. It's $9 to park it, $9 to get it back.
$9 to park it and $9 to bring it back. My dad gave him $5. Like, I was like, he handed you the keys and said it's in there? Go find it? Come on. That's got to be a foul. I heard that. I was like, hey, that's crazy.
I don't tip on takeout either.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. I think we're in unison. That's a foul.
Oh, yeah. Like
Here,
I said,
sir, here's your car keys. It's parked over there across the street. It's spot 86.
Cool. You know where it is.
Why did I?
Then go get it.
Why can't I pay $18 to do that myself? Oh, my God. Old-fashioned foul. Not going to get the cars. What's the point of the valet? That's why I asked. Like, do you tip that guy?
No.
I stayed one time.
Like I said, that's how I look at it. If it's an $8 valet, it's $4 to park it, $4 to get it back, and then you tip the guy. It's not $18 to park it, $0 for you to get it to go wandering through a parking lot. You're dealing with drunk people trying to find their car. No. You bring the car back.
I'm just like, I stayed at a hotel one time in Marina del Rey with USD, and there was a room fiasco, but I ended up having to pay the only parking. I had to drive myself because of what XYZ, because we're doing the shows when they played UCLA, and the hotel had the like $55 a day valet only parking because they didn't want anybody by the beach using their hotel. Like, I was like, whatever, I'll deal with it because I have to have a car up there and I'm not parking on the street, whatever. So I did the whole thing, and the valet guy hooked me up. He was like, because I told him like what happened. I ended up not staying at that hotel because they forgot to get me a room. So then I had to go to like 3 other hotels to get a room. I was one hotel room away from just going home and never.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not working this weekend. I'm not doing this. But anyway, so I ended up getting a hotel room in USD. They helped me up, but my car was still at the $55 parking thing, and the guy was like, "Oh, that's cool. Like, I know you're staying here." And I told him not to put on USD's tab because he said, "Oh, you want me to put on their thing?" I'm like, "No. I drove myself." He's like, "Oh, okay, cool." So he waived one of the days, which was awesome, sweet,
nice.
That was the Friday guy. The Sunday guy wasn't as nice. I get there on Sunday, and it's like we're trying to leave, right? We already played the game, coming back, getting the stuff, and I'm about to drive home. It's a long weekend, whatever. And so the guy, I give him the little slip. I wait like 10 minutes for my car. He brings it up, but it's got like the long driveway. He leaves it like down the street. It's just there. And he comes back. I see him with my keys, and he puts the keys on the valet podium. And I know they're busy and all that other stuff. My car's down. I want to go home. I have all my stuff, and I was like, well, maybe he went to go do something else. And
or
so
maybe it was a stage thinking you weren't there yet, and okay,
it was the guy
he's
I
coming.
physically handed the ticket to.
Maybe he didn't see you on the way back. I know what that's like.
I was standing right next. I know, right? I was standing right next to the podium. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm going to give it a couple of minutes. I don't know what they're doing. Valet deal. And then I was like, all right, dude, it's I've been here for way too long. I'm ready to drive home the 2 hours, whatever it is, from Marina del Rey to San Diego. And so I go up and I'm like, can I get my car? They're like, because at that point they were just sitting there. They had nothing else to do. I'm like, can I? And they're like, which one? I'm like, that's my Camaro's right there. And they're like, oh yeah, sure. And he handed me the keys. I had to walk all the way down to. I didn't tip. I was like, well, what's the point of the whole deal? I gave you the $55 a day. So at that hotel, you think there's a foul on the valet for not bringing the car back, giving you the keys and telling you?
Yes.
Foul on my dad for tipping, being a nice guy.
No, I wouldn't foul. I wouldn't.
Nah, he's being a nice guy. Give him $5. I'm just saying.
If he tipped probably any more than that, I probably would have. But no, I can't. Not on it.
What do you got on Adam? What do you got on Adam in the YouTube chat saying he doesn't tip takeout?
No, I don't tip takeout either.
What am I tipping you for?
Exactly. Yeah.
The problem with that is there's too many people that post like poor Drew Brees tipped something small. What was that 8 years ago on a takeout? He went and physically picked it up, and everybody tried to out him on social media.
If you go to physically pick it up, if you get an order that you want ready for you there when you pick it up, then yeah, there's no tip there. But if you get a DoorDash guy, I don't need you spitting in my food. I have enough problems. I'll tip you.
I tipped a DoorDash guy. He's delivering to my house. But takeout? No. If I'm driving to go pick up the food, what am I tipping you for? Maybe I'm an ass for saying that, but I want to what am I tipping? What am I tipping you for?
No.
You did your job? Congrats. As a former Starbucks barista who I appreciated the tips. I don't really tip at Starbucks a lot. The Starbucks by my house, for some reason, I don't know what takes them so long to get the drinks out. I almost want to go back there and just do it. Can I just do it myself? Go back. I still know how to do it all. And this is where I get, it's you sit there, it's taking 15 minutes and you just look and all the Starbucks people are just sitting there with their arms crossed. It's not doing anything.
In the legendary words of John Pinette, you got coffee back there? Good. You should probably drink some so you'll move it.
Right.
I have to go and get coffee to stand in line for coffee.
I got a text. That's a foul on your dad for tipping the valet guy after that. Enabling the behavior. Hey, man, maybe he's busy, whatever. I get it. But
or the next time you go there, just say, here, don't park this next to anyone. This guy rubbed it up against 5 things the last time I was here.
All right, so we're in agreement on that.
Cop thing.
We're in agreement on that.
Yeah.
I don't want to out the valet guy, but that's why I didn't mention the hotel or any of that stuff. Who knows? Maybe the guy was having a bad day. But the whole hand the keys.
Yeah, no.
It's the $5 for the $9 to park it, and then $0 for the night. He could have got a $10 tip if you brought the car back.
You could have gotten a $10 tip if you'd have done the second half of your job.
Nate Taylor in the chat, can't foul Pops. I mean, you can if he commits a foul. You can't be biased here on the show. All right. Did you spell people's names wrong while at Starbucks? Of course I did. I hated writing names on cups when I used to work at Starbucks because I would never spell anybody's name right. Because it wouldn't be names like Frank. It would be more elaborate than that, and I'd just be like, I can't do it anymore. I will say this though,
with a Y.
I will say this: they have now with everything being automated, they have to punch everything into the machine, which means any of the upgrades and stuff like that now get charged. Where before they wrote it on cups, a lot of the times I would just be too lazy as a barista to just add this, add that. People were probably getting a lot cheaper coffees back in the day. Probably getting way more expensive ones now. Oh, delete this, add this, add this, add this. That's always a charge. I used to never put it in because I was like, this is just too much effort. I got to go find it on the machine. Also hooking people up, dude. That's why I got the tips. Helping people out. Starbucks is fine. They'll be okay. Anyway, now they just draw smiley faces on the cups. That is right, Callan. That's exactly what they do. All right. What is the weirdest thing? We have a couple of minutes. Mm-hmm. What is the one thing that everybody tips that you don't tip? You think it's what is the how about this? What is the most outlandish thing you have seen the POS machine ask a tip for?
Oh, if I just get like a cup of water or something from a place that I need, like it needs to get rung up, and it always brings up the.
No, I mean like business, like it makes no sense.
Oh,
like why are we tipping for this? Like when we went to it's a $10 cover to get in a moonshine. They have like a tip on the cover thing because it's just the POS machine, like it just automatically does that. There's no way they're like. There might be a couple drunk people that might give them something.
I would not be surprised.
You know why I asked that? Because I'm playing softball tonight. It's Monday. Mm-hmm. Monday's a softball day at the Poway Sportsplex for me. It costs you $3 to get in if you pay cash. It's $3.25 if you play with card. They have a tip thing on the deal. I asked the girl doing it one day. She's like in high school. I said, there's no way anybody tips you here. She was like, honestly, some people do, and it's kind of crazy. I'm like, yeah, that is kind of, really?
This segment brought to you by Larry David.
On the tipping?
Yeah, because this is a Curb episode. It has to be.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure this is on Seinfeld back in the day. But we issued the fouls on the old fashioned and the valet. And the weirdest thing I've ever seen a tip for is I have seen it for the cover fees to bars, and I've seen it for the entry to get into the Sportsplex. Which again, it's not the company, it's the POS system just automatically does it. But now the girl at the Poway one, she just like wipes it through so fast. You can't even there's no even any place to.
I love how greedy they're getting too. Like those tips are like 20, 30, 40%. Like no,
some of them are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the other day I had
and the math doesn't math if you do it right.
No, we're going to talk about Mason Miller when we come back. The other day, when we were the opening weekend, we went to the Brigantine, and I was using a gift card. I got the Old Pros, Scripture Old Pros gave me a Brigantine gift card for speaking at their meeting, and it was super cool, super nice of them. I finally got to cash in on a Friday in Lent, went to the Brig on the water on the Embarcadero, and our bill was about $100. It was literally like $100, and my gift card was $200. And I was like, well, I don't want to put the tip on here because I might as well keep a clean $100 for the next time I come here, make it easier. But I had a 20, but the guy has the little self POS thing, right? And so it's so awkward. You're like, I have to hit no tip on this.
Yeah.
And so I felt like I had to explain myself before I did it because he goes like, oh, and here you go. It's super awkward watching the people just watch you tip them, which is terrible because if the guy had bad service, you want to tip less. You shouldn't have to feel guilty into tipping the guy more for not doing his job. He did a great job at the Brigantine. And I said, I am going to hit no tip because I'm going to give you this.
Yeah, I'm going to leave cash here, bud.
He was like, oh no. And then he's like, oh, thank you so much. I felt so bad because I had to do that. I had to hit no. I felt like I had to explain myself.
And I'm sorry, but that's on the Brigantine. Don't make the dude stand there.
How about the new etiquette should just be like, here's the deal.
Pay your staff.
Well, I mean, that's the problem is they are getting, now they are getting paid. Now they have the surcharges that they like to throw on there too to cover their deal. No. How about like they used in restaurants, before they had those individual POS systems, Frank, what would they do? Here's your check.
Yeah. Here's your check. Out
no rush. How many times? No rush. Take care of it when you want. Yeah, that's there. That's there for you. Here, that's for you.
Yeah.
That's for you. Let me know if you need anything else. Take your time. No rush. No rush. Why don't they just do that with the POS machine? What are you going to walk out with the POS machine? There's no way that thing does anything outside of the restaurant that you're in. Leave it there. Because when you pay with a credit card before and you would hand it to them, they'd give it back to you and you'd write it out and you'd be like, we're out. Just leave the POS thing there. Give them the time, pay it, let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Whether using Toast or Square. I don't know, dude. I don't know the brand. Are some of those valuable than others? Somebody go walk off with that? All right, when we come back, is there a chance for, based on the start to the season, for Mason Miller to potentially win the Cy Young? Some people say yes. Some people say no. We'll have our thoughts when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show. Settings number on Sports Station 97 through the Fan. .126 on a Monday. Shows fly by. We'll talk about the Masters in a second. We'll talk about San Diego FC in a second. We do want to talk about Mason Miller here on the show. Just the start to the year that he has had. I mean, he's unbelievable anyway. We knew that before the Padres traded for him. The big question is like, why are we trading best prospect for a bullpen arm? Well, Mason Miller's kind of a once-in-a-generational player based on what he's been able to do. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number sports station 97 through the Fan. We're broadcasting live for the Bill House Studios. We know how. All of our guests are brought to you by the SDCCU Fan Hotline. It's not Big Bank Banking. It's better. Let's talk about Mason Miller. Now, let me ask you this question, Frank. You know, I'm gonna turn the tables on you. You always like to ask me trivia questions. Why don't I ask you a trivia question every once in a while? I know it's part of the show. Shh. How many relief pitchers have won a Cy Young Award?
8.
You're close.
Really?
9. I was pretty good. Pretty good guess. There's been 9. 9 relief pitchers to win a Cy Young. Who is the last bullpen arm?
I would have to assume Mariano.
No, he has never won. He
Really?
never won a Cy Young. I'll give you a hint. It was 2003. In fact,
Gagne.
Eric Gagne. Close.
Yeah, it's that. Where the heck is it? I know I have it here. Do I not? Yeah, I do.
A lot of these guys were actually Padres at one point or another. They did not win Cy Youngs with the Padres, I don't think. All right, relief Cy Young Award winners. Let me see if I can. I don't really trust AI on that deal, so I'm going to go through with. I knew there was 9 though. Where's the bullpen arms? Does it show? It doesn't really show. But there's 9 players that win the Cy Young as a bullpen arm. Now, according to a quick search, the only 9. Oh, here you go. Let's see. Maybe this will have it up. All right. Here are the 9 players that have won the Cy Young as a bullpen arm: Mike Marshall, Bruce Sutter, Steve Bedrosian, Mark Davis with the Padres, Eric Gagne, Sparky Lyle, Raleigh Fingers, Willie Hernandez, and Dennis Eckersley. Fingers, Hernandez, and Eckersley also won the MVP that year in the American League, that they won the Cy Young. These are the 9 relievers that have won a Cy Young Award in history. If you look at what Eric Gagne did in 2003, Eric Gagne in 2003 had a 3.7 WAR. He was 2-3 with a 1.20 ERA. He threw 82 in a third innings in 77 appearances. 55 saves for Gagne that year. He had an ERA plus of 337. That's pretty crazy. So it's something that hasn't happened since 2003. But is it something that Mason Miller could potentially do in 2026 in the National League? No reliever has won the Cy Young since Eric Gagne in 2003. That drought exists because starters throw far more innings. Relievers are seen as specialists, not full-game impact players. Even dominant seasons like Zach Britton in 2016, who had a 0.54 ERA, weren't enough. But now Mason Miller is forcing the conversation back into relevance. We're witnessing a rare moment where a reliever is breaking the traditional Cy Young argument. Miller's dominance is borderline unreal. He has not allowed a run in 28 and 2/3 consecutive innings. His last 18 batters faced, he has struck out 17 of them. And so far this season, he has 19 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 1 hit allowed. He's averaging 101 plus on his fastball. He's touching 102, 103. His average is 101, which is crazy. It's not. His pitch mix is a slider, primary weapon, high 80s. He's got an emerging changeup now, which is a new wrinkle to this game. And the advanced impact, he has a 79.2% strikeout rate, averaging less than 13 pitches per inning, already top 3 in NL WAR despite limited innings. You're not just seeing dominance. I mean, you are seeing video game level efficiency and overpowering stuff. Now, the closer value debate. Traditional argument, closers are like NFL kickers. They're important, but limited impact. Miller's counter to that is the final outs matter more. High leverage isn't captured fully in stats. And the hidden factor is setup man like Jason Adam and Adrian Morejon help create those save opportunities. This is really about how we define value in baseball. If you look at his usage versus recognition, closers usually throw 60 to 70 innings a year. Starters throw 150 to maybe 200 innings per year, and voters historically favor volume and consistency over leverage and dominance. But even with new awards, MLB introduced the Reliever of the Year award, which signals separation between starter and reliever evaluation. System is almost built to prevent relievers from winning the Cy Young. So what would it take for Mason Miller to win it? Well, according to League Perspective, he must maintain historic dominance all season, continue absurd strikeout rates, and starters must have non-elite seasons. If the starters are just good and not elite, Mason Miller could sneak in and be the Cy Young Award winner in the National League. It's not just about Miller being great, but it's about kind of everyone else not being historically great. Now, in terms of Mason Miller, he discussed this in an article with Dennis Lin. His focus is on short-term execution, attack hitters early, limit pitch counts. He's not chasing awards like the Cy Young. It's not a stated goal for the season. And the coaching approach, pitching coach basically says, as Ruben Abel talked about in this article, we stay out of his way. Dominance is paired with clarity, simplicity, and confidence. Eye test in the stat sheet. Players on the Padres had these quotes in Dennis Lin's article: all-star game every day. We've never seen anything like it. Stats are elite, but the visual dominance may even be greater. That's why it's so fun to watch him go out there and pitch on a daily basis. Not even a daily basis, but when you have the opportunity to watch Mason Miller pitch in person, it's a treat. He passes both the analytical test and the eye test. Should a reliever ever win the Cy Young again? I think anybody that's got a chance to do it, it'd be Mason Miller. But the way things are stacked up right now, Frank, in my opinion, I just don't think it's going to be very feasible for him to do it. I mean, he's going to have to put out an absolute insane dominant year and hope guys like Paul Skeens have an okay season.
Yeah, he's going to have to be an absolute freak this year. Not to say that he hasn't been already ever since putting the brown and gold on, but Miller is in a very, very unique spot to where it is April 13th, and we are already talking about him potentially winning a Cy Young Award. There are closers that have gotten off to just as good or better starts than Mason Miller, and their names have never been brought up in this situation, in this conversation. So the fact that we're even talking about this now And the fact that it's even being brought up by people in the media, whether it be Dennis Lin or whoever nationally could be talking about this, that lends some credence, I believe, to the fact that even though it's a long shot, it is a very realistic possibility, because where there's smoke, there's usually fire, especially when it's coming this early.
Yeah, a lot of people were asking the question about it. Like Dennis Lin asked the question about it. You touch it, and then they asked everybody's favorite reporter, Ken Rosenthal, about it today. He kind of threw cold water on the entire topic of discussion.
Of course he did.
No surprise. I just feel like, my viewing on this is don't get your hopes up, Padres fans. I mean, even if I think he's going to continue this dominant stretch.
If Mason Miller was a Dodger,
you would never.
Already.
I mean,
give it to him already.
Forget
about Cy Young.
Was that somebody that called in on Friday, right? He was like, why are we had to do this for Aaron Judge, and every time Shohei Ohtani comes up, but like Mason Miller should be like absolute breakaway from whatever is airing right now and show Mason Miller's outing.
Yeah.
That's how legit he has been. It's stupid. I mean, we went to the game on Friday. I didn't sit down there with him, but like two of my buddies were there, and one of them was like, hey, like, Will, he's just laughing after every pitch Mason Miller throws.
He's
just laughing at it. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
If I'm a hitter going up there to face Mason Miller, I'm looking back like, what do you want me to do with this? I'm not hitting this. What do you want from me?
Right.
Like, I'll give you a game check back just so I don't have to go up and face him and look like an idiot. Just let me stay here.
How about that with the, what was the guy's name? Colton Griffin? Is that the guy's name for Pittsburgh?
Connor Griffin.
Yeah, welcome to the big leagues, dude. Here's Mason Miller.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stupid. That's why, like, remember when Gurriel squared him up last year for a home run?
Yes.
What was the sound of that bat like for the people at that stadium? I mean, that was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. He's going to have like a game like that.
Oh, he's going to give up runs. He's going to give up hits. The fact that he hasn't in so long is insane.
Well, the other thing too is this looks so effortless. It doesn't look like he's laboring up there at all. I mean, it's just such a smooth one hundo. Just a smooth 101. And he always starts slider. It always seems like he starts first pitch slider and those no answer for it. I'd almost like to see I'd love to see our hitters go against them one time, like for fun. Just be like, what does this look like? You almost got to see it in the WBC. You almost saw Mason Miller face Fernando at the WBC.
Yeah, no, I can see it. I can see them standing behind him with the batting cage up, standing behind the cage, looking at one slider come in, and Fernando look over at Manny and go, "Oh hell no, no shot."
I think he has a good opportunity to potentially be part of the conversation. Mason Miller will get votes. I will say that. He will get votes, and I don't think that's crazy to say. When we come back, tough weekend for San Diego FC. We'll talk about the Masters a little bit, and finally recap what happened in the Rockies series. Final conversation to end the show. Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego Sports Station, 97 to the Fan. We're giving you and a guest the chance to go away with Weezer on their Weezer The Gathering tour. Get hooked up with flights, a 2-night hotel stay, a pair of tickets to see Weezer, plus meet and greet with the band and a signed set list thanks to Live Nation and Crush Music. And all you have to do to enter is listen to us on the Odyssey app. Download the free app, create your account, favorite our station, and listen for an hour to get your daily entry and come back each day for another chance to win. This is a national contest. All right. With the Padres playing really good baseball, apparently we can't have nice things in San Diego all around because San Diego FC has been playing really poor soccer, Frank. We had Juan Ruiz call us, Juan from Oceanside, early in the show today to profess his frustrations, if you will, about San Diego FC. I'm glad he held on to the Arsenal stuff to himself. You know what? But if you want to spew it out in the YouTube chat there, Juan, go for it. Sometimes you just got to let it out, buddy. Apparently Arsenal's not doing well. What's the Arsenal situation, Frank?
I'm looking it up right now.
It's not great. I know it's not great because Juan complains to you all the time. Oh, no, that's not a great reaction. How's Arsenal doing?
Brother, there's 6 games left, and Arsenal has a 2-game lead effectively. Calm it down a little bit. It's a 2-game lead. Relax. It's a 6-point lead. I understand it's tough. Yeah, I know. I understand. It's tough. It's hard watching your team when you know they're going to blow it.
You know what, man? You could be a Tottenham fan, okay?
You could be. Or you could be like me and an Inter fan and happy when you have a 3-game lead with 8 games to go.
Sky's falling. You know what? I really hope Juan at Oceanside is not the windsock of Arsenal. Do we think he is? I don't think he is. He's
starting to feel like it.
Starting to look like it, though. Jeez.
By the way, you had mentioned Como before.
Mm-hmm.
Their stadium is gorgeous.
Yeah, I've driven past.
Yeah, it's right on the water. It's right in the middle of the river. It's beautiful.
Well, it's where downtown Como is, I guess, if you want to call it downtown.
They are fighting and are pretty firmly in right now a Europa League spot, which is they're in 5th place in Serie A right now. Which is for them after coming up from City B like 2 years ago. That is wild that Como has had the turn that they have had.
Inter, Napoli, Milan, Juventus, Como, Roma. Hey, AS Roma.
Yep.
How about that? Notable to some.
And I'm not sure. It depends on how UEFA ranks Serie A's performance. That 5th place might be good enough to get them into Champions League next year, which would be insane.
All right, let's talk about San Diego FC in particular. You watched the game on Saturday. You're supposed to. I thought you were going. You weren't going to.
Yeah, I felt kind of off all weekend, so I just decided to stay home.
All right, but you watched the game at home?
Yes.
What was your biggest takeaway of San Diego FC besides another red card in the back line really not being disciplined, which is interesting? Again, we talked about this on one of our SDFC updates.
Probably the last one, and we're going to do it again this next one.
But we talked about like uncharacteristic for a Mikey Varas team. It's starting to become more of a trend right now. And here's the interesting thing. Like, say what you want about Chuka Lozano and everything like that. That's fine. But when you continue to roll out just undisciplined soccer, it makes it very hard to believe a lot of the situations with San Diego FC of how they're moving on from certain situations. So I don't know I don't know how they're going to do this, but they got to stop playing a man down for the majority of soccer games.
It's not an offensive problem. So if that conversation about just having Lozano sit there and rot on the sidelines, that would have a lot more teeth if it was an offensive problem. It's not.
No, I'm saying they can't. They don't want to have him part of the organization because they don't align with what the organization is doing. But when you play the soccer that they are playing, regardless of what the on-field thing is, with red cards and everything like that, then it's the way that you say you're running your team. It looks different. It looked good at the beginning of the season when they were disciplined and one of the best teams taking care of business. But when you make the mistakes that they are making, it makes it harder for people that are big Chucky fans to like listen to this.
I can see that. I understand that point of view, but again, it's the back line. McVeigh was the one that got it. This was the one that got the red card this time. He's the elder statesman back there. He's 29. It's not like it's not another case of a 19-year-old just trying to catch up. That's the anchor to your back line. That's the veteran experience. If you had the whole team running around getting cards, then again, I understand your argument a little bit more. If you're missing offense, then I understand it even more. These issues, minus the Ingvartsen red card where he kicked a guy in the face, these have all been isolated to the defense. All of these issues and all of these red cards have been isolated to the back line, not where Lozano would be.
It doesn't matter, but what I'm saying is it doesn't matter. It's a team game. Unless that's a separate team that they don't control, and that's run differently than what the regular organization runs, it's still a team game, and it's still a team environment. The team is still committing red cards. I know it's isolating the defense, but it's still a team aspect of the lack of discipline that they have had. It has been a lack of discipline.
Oh, for sure.
Which you can't tolerate as an organization. And I thought by now they would have nipped this in the bud, but they have not. And this is how many games in a row that they have lost a player because of a red card?
6.
6 straight. So,
and these are not.
And I'm not an advocate for Chucky Lozano, but I'm starting to see the narratives of like the diehard Chucky fans going like, "This is ridiculous."
And more or less, these are not double yellows. There have been a couple of double yellows,
which are going to happen.
Yeah, these are straight reds that we're seeing here, and it's not just because they're playing a better Toluca team. You played Minnesota United, who's now tied with you for the final playoff spot in the Western Conference. It's not like you're trying to keep up with Lionel Messi and Inter Miami. You're trying to keep up with the bottom half of the Western Conference right now. Not helpful. It doesn't look good. It does not look good at all when you're having these issues against the lesser teams of the league.
They have to be able to make it through a game with 11 guys. at this point in time.
Yeah, that's got to be the goal for next week. It's just
Have
have
we just
11 guys on the
11?
field.
Right. It's just so this is probably the biggest downturn we've seen out of San Diego FC since they've became a team. Right? I mean, they had last year was all success, and then they start off to a pretty good start this season, but they are letting the back line really steer this team into the wrong direction, and it needs to be obviously addressed. And I don't know how many times we have to point it out on the show, but they need to be a lot better in that particular regard.
Yeah, and they're going to be playing Real Salt Lake on Saturday. That's their next match up in Salt Lake City.
We'll talk more about that with Drake on Friday. Rory won the Masters over the weekend. Didn't really talk about that too much. That was a fun little finish.
Scotty Scheffler second.
Yeah, he
Schauffele 8 under.
What a tear to come back in a second. But Frank Marchese, I'm Braden Surprenant. Quinn and Chris, full show today. We will talk to you tomorrow, getting ready for Padres and Mariners when we come back tomorrow's show.